Mm.
Oh, that's a good
Very
timing.
nice.
Hello,
Good
Very
start. Good
nice.
start.
hello, everyone. Welcome to the talk show. I'm GV. You know I am.
Nice.
Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. Uh, this is G1 today. This is a
Yeah.
nice ass
Today,
model.
like every week.
Um,
Thanks so
here we
much.
have PolarStar. There we have Qyr, and there we have Curio, and we're
Yes.
here. We're here today to to talk about 3D modeling and avatar creation and selling politics. That's a mouthful.
Yeah. I love politics. I love
Yeah,
to sell politics.
politics.
I love to sell politics on the street corners. That's my favorite part.
Yeah, that's good politics.
Mm-hmm.
I believe
Um,
in the lasagna party.
yeah. I'm gonna
Fuck outta
close
here.
this screen.
I'm a lasagna man.
I like the sauce. The
Um,
sauce is
Yeah, I
my
like
favorite
the
part.
sauce.
so before we get started, we need to
Mm.
introduce our guests, and I think they are the best at introducing themselves. So let's start with Polar. Why don't you introduce yourself to my viewers?
Hey, so my name is PolarStar. I'm generally known as somebody who does a lot of 3D modeling, and I make all of my models from scratch, which
Ooh.
is that's something that a lot of people are really passionate about their creations and things that they do. But I'm seeing more and more a lot of people saying that they're using MMD models as their bases for scratches and stuff like that. And I'm trying to kind of flip people's understanding and make it a little bit more approachable to making models completely from scratch, but taking some inspiration from how it is that they set
Yeah.
up their modeling with
And
that.
that is a very, very respectable goal.
Nice.
And I wish you a lot of luck with that because that is really cool. Okay,
Yeah.
Kier, introduce
Yes.
yourself.
Yes. I am Kier. I do kanas. No, I make kanas. That's better. That's better.
Oh yeah.
Way to say. Yeah. Of course. Safe.
Safe.
PG
Since all
13.
above
Yeah.
board. Since all legal.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah. So no, but I make kanas. I make worlds. I've been playing VRChat since early, like December, January. I have a
Yeah.
couple public worlds. I have a couple public 100 public avatars. I make commissions. I do a lot of things.
Cool.
Yes,
Nice.
that is me.
And then
All right.
and then we get the tanned
Curio.
person. Yeah.
Yes.
the chocolate waifu.
Yeah.
I do models. I guess I originally started doing like MMD models. You know, I kind of
Yeah.
just like everybody else did with VRChat,
Yeah.
and then I kind of just was doing that for a really long time, and then I kind of started going more into entertainment recently because I've been doing Blender for like 50 hours a week every single
Yeah,
week
you've
for like
been
8
you've been
months.
doing
So
Monster Hunter and stuff like that. I've seen.
yeah, so I kind of took a break and now I'm coming back to it and I'm gonna
Yeah.
really start digging into from scratch work myself. But I'm a good
That's
example
cool.
of somebody like PolarStar said that you know I started with MMDs and then have been working my way to actually creating things. So
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, that's where I'm at.
you want to make them from scratch at least.
Yeah, I do. Exactly. I'm not happy with MMDs. I need
No,
more.
that's all very
Yeah.
commendable. I don't know many people who aspire to make their own things like that, like from scratch. Like even my custom model is made from a base because it just saves you a lot of work. But
Hmm.
that's cool. But let's get into the subjects. I've got my list here. Did you guys check them out? I made a little
Yeah.
list.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm scrolling up on the Discord. Smile.
Yeah, that's good.
Pull that
Mhm,
list.
So before we start on the politics discussion, I decided to give PolarStar his segment first because he wanted to talk about things that aren't very relevant to the other subjects. So I thought let's give him the time of day because he deserves it. Okay, so Polar, we're gonna start in 3D modeling. How did you get into 3D modeling? What got you started?
So I've been doing a lot of 2D animating and illustration for quite a long time, and one of my friends finally actually showed me VR chat and convinced me to get into doing 3D modeling.
Yeah.
I had zero experience with 3D modeling beforehand, so it was very much like Curio. is I find that anybody who has done any kind of modeling for the sake of VR chat, if they're at least a little bit smart, they'll look at something that currently exists that is somewhat working, which is MMDs.
Yeah.
So in the very beginning, I started looking at MMDs. I was like, all right, how is it they set it up? Okay, they got the bone structure this way. They got the mesh for the face that way. It's like, you know what? I don't even want to do a moving mouth at first. Like, this is way too much. This is way too much work. But December of last year was my very first time even stepping into Blender and checking out stuff.
Oh, that's great. You've really come a long way since then.
Yeah.
G1, we need to do. We need to start doing
What?
something more fruitful with our time, it seems.
No.
Go to Blender every day, of
I've spent
course.
way too much time on this. and very much like Curio, is I spend way more time in Blender than I do in VR chat. I've got a lot of friends in VR chat that complain at me for not showing up.
I mean, why
Just
not
in Blender
both
all
though?
day.
Like,
Yeah,
I'm always
Qyr
desktop
does-
mode.
Qyr's a desktop mode. That's what he
I
does.
mean, yeah, I
He's
mean,
just
I
always
log,
on Unity
I log on for
desktop
about
mode.
3 hours to hang out with my friends. Rest of the day I spend in VR chat, desktop mode, Unity and Blender, 4 tabs, four projects at the same time, working on 11 different things, like Photoshop tabs, just
It's-
out of the wazoo.
It's like Rock and Wakamoo
Exactly.
back in the day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, that's great. What do you like about 3D modeling, and what don't you like about it?
Well, there's a couple of things that come up when it is that you want to make your own custom mesh, because generally the proportions are going to be very, very different from what's universally standard.
Yeah,
And by this I mean, if with most of my models, if I were to hop into like the MMD dance world and try and do a dance with it,
everything will go wacky.
because the arm and the leg proportions are more human.
Yeah.
So what winds up happening
Oh,
is
yeah.
they wind up completely like folding in on themselves and doing really funky things like that. So as far as that kind of typical what's expected out of 3D modeling, you have to model things in a very different way and mindset. You can't just be cookie cutter unless you really want to just be good at doing like the MMD dances and stuff. But that's been my biggest challenge, is getting stuff to work really well with rigging. If you're not comfortable with weight painting, don't make your own models from scratch. Just don't. You're
Yeah.
going to have such a hard time
Yeah.
time with it, because that's
Well,
I have
Hmm.
it
Sorry,
doesn't
go
even
ahead.
matter if like it's not even just the weight painting when it comes to making your own things from scratch either. I mean, it's like you have your weight painting and you have like how you go about doing it just like as a tool, and then you have to know about the meta of weight painting when it comes to how you want your
Yes.
armature to work. And that's something that
Mhm.
VR chat
Mhm.
isn't clear about anywhere, and you're using 3 different programs in order to figure it out.
Yeah,
So,
and
like,
then uploading it and
you could-
testing it and go back and
Yeah,
forth
you
a
can
million
literally
times.
spend an eternity trying to figure out what the exact proportions are that VR chat supports.
Yeah.
Because
Yep.
like it just they tell you
Yeah,
some
even-
they do tell you in some places, but like
Even in a more realistic
it's-
proportioned avatar like this one, even though it's not super realistic, when I do this, everything just goes weird.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
It doesn't know how to do the
Yeah,
the
it's,
solver freaks out.
Get your
Yeah.
own deck.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, the IK can't handle all those.
Yeah.
But if you want realistic tracking, you need more sensors. Like, they do the best they can,
No
but like, my
man,
elbows are
you
like
need
touching right
elbow
now.
trackers.
Yeah, I had that in school before. I did mocap for cinematic. I did, and then we had like a full bodysuit. But that thing cost like $500,000 krona. Yeah, it cost like $50K at least.
Yeah.
But that's like movie level shit. But yeah,
Yeah.
so we could borrow it for 1 hour each per group for that day. That was a lot of time. But yeah,
That's
I would like to
cool.
use that though. That's
That's cool.
It's coming soon. TM.
Yeah.
Five
Yeah,
years,
Valve,
10
get
years.
on that.
Yeah, that's immersion.
story
I
of my
don't.
life.
I don't need
Story
a
of my
car.
life.
Yeah.
I don't need
Yeah.
a house. I just need a mocap suit, baby.
Yeah.
yeah. No, but that's good. That's good. So yeah, you've been doing 3D modeling. That's
That actually kind of brings us into our next topic of the topology, because
Yes.
that's where it is that you have to be really, really intentional
Mhm.
about what it is
Yeah.
that you're doing.
yeah.
No
Yeah,
tries,
speaking
please. Only
earlier-
quads.
Yeah, no tries, no triangles.
Yes.
Speaking earlier about mouth movement, that one is
Yeah.
extremely important. If you want to
I
be
hate
doing any
mouths.
expressions,
Yeah.
yeah. If you want to be doing any expressions or any drastic movement of stuff,
Like you,
I can kind of get away with it because I do cell shading. But if you have like a fully textured
Yeah.
model, yeah,
you guys want to
it'll
know
show up
something
quite badly.
insane? Most of
Hmm.
the
Yeah,
Switch,
tell us.
most of the Switch models I have 72 mouth bones.
Good
Yeah.
lord.
Insanity.
But like most games don't do vice seams or blend shapes. They basically
Sure.
just have the full rig for the face, so they
Yeah.
can have the bones
Yeah.
animated the way they want it
But
to.
it blew my mind.
Because that gives it more freedom. Yeah.
Because I opened up the model, it was a Fire Emblem Fates model, and it just bones everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, nothing but bones.
Yeah.
It's a lot
Yeah.
easier to like apply an animation than to have to go back in and add
Yeah.
shape
Yeah.
keys to a
It,
mesh.
it also
Right.
the positive thing is that for games it's a big thing to do that because a model with shape keys is like 10 times bigger file size, and if you have one talking animation, it works universally on all models with the same rig. So like all
Yeah.
WoW models, for example, or have like the same rig for the mouth, so they can just take every talking animation, every single face animation, and just slap them on every other one because they all match. They all have the same rig and same
That's
bone
clever.
names and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's
yeah,
efficient.
go on.
Yeah.
And
I would definitely
technically the
say
same thing as the MMD dance.
that's
Yeah.
It's the same thing as the MMD dance. It's
Yeah,
literally
oh
just
yeah, exactly.
effectively
Yeah,
the
Yeah,
same
it's a lot
thing.
of standardized
Yeah.
names and stuff.
Yeah.
hmm I would say that's people's biggest hesitation with making models from scratch is they don't want to do the
Yeah.
vice seams.
Well,
They want to have their
Oh, yeah,
mouth
fuck
move at
that.
all.
my buddy G1
it's so
here
much
does
work.
his own Visemes
Yeah.
sometimes.
That's because
There
I
you
don't
go.
use MMD models.
Yeah, he.
I mean, vice seams are not impossible, but I would
Yeah,
say
it-
it's
they're
getting the
just
face to not look derpy is
painstaking.
my
It's
my
just
biggest
a lot
like
of work.
It
yeah
can take time to get them to look right.
Yeah.
yeah.
Right, exactly.
I'm afraid of derpy eyes. That's my most thing. I'm most. That's why I stick. That's why I stick with MD faces for now at
Oh, yeah.
least.
Yeah.
It was hard to do these eyes without something looking a little bit weird.
Yeah.
Our mutual friend Kat Nolara said that he likes
Mhm.
making
Kat, too.
Visemes.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, Cat makes
It's
a lot of his
fun.
own. Cat makes all his own stuff.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
Curio,
that's
you
crazy.
inspired
Yeah.
him to do that, right?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know how.
No,
I just was on Blender.
I just
and
know
he's like, "No,
his,
try
his
this."
first 3D model has your name on it, so I was like, oh.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. That's
I
beautiful.
mean, he's quite a big fan, slightly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's my boy. He's one of my
Yeah.
people.
Okay, so
Oh,
back to Polar.
hmm Aside from Visemes, I would say that one of the more fun things, especially for me, is to make expressions. characters.
Oh,
Yeah.
those
And that's
are
what
great.
it is that I spend probably the most time at.
I
Yeah.
like the bow. That's nice.
I like how the bow moves. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was kind of like an attention to detail as far as instead of having it be where you could, because you can't really see the face. So if I
Yeah,
can't really see the mouth,
You can't
Yeah.
have to do the whole
Top
body
of
of
the
the
the bow
animate.
is kind of a little bit more expressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do really appreciate that. Like the extra bit of spice just to make it stand out.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Right.
that's cool.
Hey, PolarStar, how many poly are in your face, if you don't mind me asking?
My face currently, I want to say, is like 3,500, something like that.
Jeez.
It makes up the
Yeah.
majority of the mesh for the model.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it needs to be high because
Yeah.
Yeah.
if you want to be able to reorient a mesh, it needs to have high poly.
Yeah,
Especially
especially
on the
when
mouth.
The entire model,
Yeah, especially
the
with
entire
mouth.
model is only 15K though. So
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Pretty good.
It's
Yeah.
lovely
Yeah.
though.
Still not too
surprising
bad.
at all.
It looks great in game. Of course, I've seen the gifs you sent me, but
hmm
it
Ooh.
translates well into virtual existence.
Oh, yeah, looks good.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is the first time that I've started actually using cloth physics, so there's a lot of stuff that I got to
Mhm.
work through.
Yeah.
et
Cloth
cetera.
physics is a
Yeah.
bitch.
I have-
It's a giant ass.
Vortec
And also because of the
Dcien says he's Curio's biggest fan.
Vortex.
Yeah,
Yeah, Vortex is.
Oh my god, is that Vortex?
Well,
Yeah,
he
You
yeah,
guys
says,
are
Oh my
fan
goodness.
club in here
he
today?
says it's your
Yeah, of
biggest
course.
fan. Yeah, that's good.
Biggest of fans.
He's the latest model you made, right? Vortex?
I'm working on it. It's not. I'm working on it. I gotta
Well,
put more
finish
time
it,
into
Forehead. Finish it.
No, it's not about finishing things. It's
Fucking
never about
slow
finishing
as
things.
slow as Curio.
And
Yeah, it's
Smart.
not. How do you finish something that you don't know what the end product looks like?
Okay,
and
yeah,
Very true, very true.
Anger those near says that
Mhm.
that he's your best waifu.
Yeah, no, well, I mean, come on, I'm my best waifu.
Oh,
Yeah,
and
of course.
they really like the Visemes on the ribbon.
Yeah.
Oh, they were a lot
Or
of
the
fun to
bl-
do.
Yeah, the expressions.
Mhm.
Expressions are
Yeah.
always
So
fun.
sassy,
Yeah. Sassy.
sassy.
Yeah.
So yeah, you got more on topology, or do you want to
Yes.
move on? Oh,
I would say so.
Keep going.
No,
Yeah.
very, very true. Just as Curio said, it's really a good idea to be doing quads instead of triangles because triangles
Yeah.
deform really nastily, really, really nastily. If you think about it, if you have a picture and then you cut it like a sandwich, like one of these across the middle, and then you fold in one of those corners, the picture is completely dead.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
all squashed and stretched and
Yeah.
distorted still.
Mhm.
Triangles are a really, really bad
Yeah.
idea.
It
It's
also makes a lot
really-
more like a lot easier to do any like further expansion of the mesh. So if
Yeah,
you have
well,
like
Blender's meant.
like yeah, I mean
that's what Blender's meant for.
edge loops doesn't work with
Yeah, you-
tries. Like if you want to
Mhm.
extrude something, like if you want to select an edge easily,
Yeah.
you can't select edges easily. If you have in tri modes, you have to be in quads. I mean, I have the keybind for when I get the model, like oh, it's all tries. I hit Control
Tries to
T
quads,
or
yeah.
Oh yeah, Alt J,
Like,
Control T.
yeah.
Oh,
Those
yeah.
keys
Oh, yeah.
all the time. Just to
Immediately.
rinse them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so much
Yeah,
easier to
you can't
select
work
edge
it.
loops and things too.
Yeah.
And any kind of subdivision that you want to do is just disgusting if you do triangles. So,
Yeah, no.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's bad.
basically my
It's a
one
bad
thing
time.
is tries to
You only
quads.
want
Use
tries
quads.
sometimes if you want
Use
like
quads.
some weird geometry, but yeah.
All right, that's a
Preferably
good
doing
thing
basic
to
form of
keep in
creation.
mind.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Keep
Yeah.
it
Oh, yeah.
square.
You heard
Keep
it here.
it
Fuck
You heard it
triangles.
here.
Square.
Be there,
Fuck
be
triangles.
square.
Mhm.
I like that.
Mhm.
Exactly.
It
There
is
it
square.
is.
That's it. That's it
Mhm.
for tonight, boys.
Yeah,
Easy
bye.
clap.
Bye.
It was worth it.
Easy clap, backflip. No.
Oh well, yes. Go on.
Okay. So shape keys is probably the next thing that I'd like to talk about. A big thing
Yes.
about shape keys, especially because I do some more ambitious shape key work, is I do a lot of breathing animations on all of my characters. You're probably not going to
Oh,
be able to see
yeah.
it terribly well here, but probably the most important thing to realize about shape keys is that you don't want mesh moving too far away from where its bone is that controls it.
Yeah,
So
that
for
makes
instance,
it super scuffed.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So for instance, naturally when you breathe, your head moves a little bit, right?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
don't want your head to move very much because then your eyeball bones are going to get all
Yeah.
scuffed, and then
Yeah,
when
I
you
mean-
look down, your eyes are going to be popping out of your head, kind of thing. So
I can
Yeah.
imagine
you
it.
have to keep right. You have to keep wherever it is that your mesh is. That's why the
Yeah.
breathing animation for this is extremely slight
I
because I
mean,
don't want the
yeah.
mesh moving around much.
Yeah, I mean, and of course, shape keys are good to do like especially stomach movement and stuff. But like, if you're in desktop mode, like you can easily do pretty
Yeah,
pretty
you can
believable
do
video animation with
you
just
can-
bone movements.
You
Yeah,
can
yes.
do
Mhm.
pretty eccentric idle animations on desktop, but for us
yeah,
VR people, it's gonna fuck up so
Yeah,
many
because
things.
like
Absolutely.
I have one right now. Like, but all that happens is I lick my tongue and my finger taps because when I'm on desktop I have a full pose. But when I'm in VR, like sometimes it like plays some small parts of the animation because like everything else is
Yeah.
taken over by the VR.
Well, whenever
Yeah.
there's like any form of lag, it resets to its default pose. Like you basically
Yeah.
go back into desktop pose. So like you have your
Yeah.
hand on your hip on this model, and I notice you every so often your hand flies to your hip and
Yeah,
then comes back
yeah.
to where it's actually tracking to.
Standing in my bitchy
Because
pose.
It's just scuffed. It's
Yeah.
just VR chat is so scuffed.
Yeah, sometimes.
And
crazy.
yes, it is entirely
Look at this
possible
hand.
that you could make a breathing animation with
it's because
bones.
you're
I'm also
bad.
reading the chat, by the way, so I'm cheating.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, custom city animation.
I'm cheating.
But-
Yeah, get one.
But yes, you can add a breathing animation with the bones, but the trouble with that is there has been, and I'll let these guys get in on it because I know that's one of the
Yeah.
topics that they want to cover. Probably, at least, is the controversy of them not actually allowing you to have humanoid overrides for certain things. As far
Yeah,
as
some things.
like root motion for bones.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to say move the chest bone slightly for an idle breathing animation, it wouldn't override properly. It would use what it
Yeah.
is that your trackers are using for that. So using
Yeah.
bones for that is not as ideal as using shape keys.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That
Yeah,
makes sense.
there's plenty of things.
Hmm
That's
Yeah.
And
I
that's
never
about
actually
it for
thought
shape
about that.
keys, really. That's
Okay,
just
and
basically
then
the big warning on that.
then you
Yeah.
got a color theory.
Ah,
Oh, yeah.
this is a fun one. So I get
Yeah.
asked a lot, what shade are you using? That's a really cool shader. I really like that. What are you doing? Is that even 3D kind of thing? And really what it comes down to is this is all hand painted.
Yeah.
This is not light oriented whatsoever. There's no lighting that makes it look like this. It's just I have simulated light by picking colors that actually look as though that they're fading to darkness.
You
that's-
simulated the
that's
toon shader
really good.
basically with drawing. Yeah.
Exactly. So I could
Nice.
decide to light it from any angle, but I decide to light it from the front typically.
Yeah.
And then I'll also have, I don't know, I'll probably
I
have to stand
have
up for this,
I
but
have
I
an
have
avatar that
rim
does
lighting
that
in the
too.
back.
Oh.
Oh, that's good.
And now you do the twerk emote with all that.
The
I mean,
twirl.
Yeah.
yeah.
No
Backflip,
twerking.
backflip respawn.
No twerking.
I mean, that's for later when the balls open up.
Yeah, that's for
Exactly.
after the stream.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Upside
yeah.
down hamburger.
My buddy G1 here is
Mhm.
gonna twerk for us all with his
This wasn't in my
Animaniac.
contract. This wasn't in my contract.
But
Yeah.
I've always dreamt of Yakko twerking for me.
Oh my goodness.
You're gonna hear from my lawyer after the show.
Oh. I mean,
That's some deep, that's some deep
you do have a nice
issues.
ass though. I mean,
That's true.
I'm just
Hey,
saying.
thanks, dude. Thanks, dude.
Yeah, I enjoy good polygons always.
Dang.
Oh,
And that leg though, woo!
Ooh.
yeah, that's intentional.
Oh,
We're meant to do that.
that's an animation override, right? Yeah,
Let's
I
do
know,
that.
I
Oh,
know.
yeah. Got on a gesture.
Doggies tells you to twerk it.
Yeah.
Damn it, doggies. Why do you train me like this?
Why are you
To make
making
that
his life
booty.
hell? Okay. Anyway, yes, your colors they are very very bold and they clash, and I love that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the good contrast.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, the idea is
Yeah,
to keep
totally.
it something interesting so it's not completely flat, etc. These aren't reds fading to darker reds, they're reds fading to darker purples, but
Yeah.
also more saturated and desaturated purples. So it's a lot of just combining
Yeah,
things.
and it it slowly transforms into blue.
Yeah. I mean, it's also pretty nice art style in general because of course, I'm not saying it's not a lot of work, but if you would do this whole thing with like a PBR texture where you actually want to have the normal maps, the stitches, you want like the whole package, that would take probably so much longer because you have to like get that realistic like real life detail, which takes a lot of time to do.
Yeah.
And this
here's
is
the
also
fun
like
part.
more fitting with the character as well.
Yeah, but like I
Now here's
really
the fun
like
part
his
with it.
I really like his art style. I compared it to
Thank you.
what's it called, the bartending game, Valhalla, because it's very
Yeah.
bold.
Oh, yeah.
And
Isn't it kind of Zelda-like though, with the cell shading look?
Somewhat.
So
Yeah,
it's like
at
a
least
SNES Zelda game.
the three level. Yeah, the 3-step or
It's just-
maybe
it's just
4-step
really good.
shadowing.
I just really like it.
Oh yeah.
I just really like
Yeah,
it.
you've been-
I don't know what
You've been telling me.
I don't know what it is about it, but it just resonates with
He
me.
just loves it.
Yeah.
He just loves it.
So here's the fun part about this.
Yeah.
Here's the fun part about
I love
materialing things this way is because it's just solid colors and they start and end. You can probably see they're kind of boxy. right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The edges are a little bit
It's a UV mapping. You just take the whole face.
It's vertex shading. It's
Yeah.
vertex shading. So the
you mean
way that
vertex
it
color?
works though is because I do vertex colors, I can have this all atlased in one material.
Oh,
It's a
Rock's
16
gonna
by
like that.
16, a 16
Yeah.
by 16 pixel material.
Yeah.
That's just referencing 2 by 2 pixel little colors that I have on a little sheet.
That's slightly less
So
than
this is
mine. Mine is only
the
8K.
most
I would love
absolutely
that, dude.
optimized material that you
Mine's
could possibly have.
Mine is only 8K.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
not
yeah.
not this one though, but I did a Kana model and like I atlas everything together. It was in a single 8K texture. I'm like, okay, I guess we go one 8K texture, then that's better than
This
50 materials.
this one is
That's
Exactly.
impressive, though.
this one's
16 by 16.
this one's
Oh.
4 materials, 2K textures.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah.
Then the noob is like, wee, not optimized.
I want to talk about optimization at some point.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think that
we can
We can get into
It's
that.
so-
We can get into that.
we know
It's a great subject.
optimization.
It
You,
really
you
is.
scream about, well, you talked about that for hours before for the fucking
Oh
screen.
yeah, no, I can talk about it for hours, man. I don't know. It's just something. I mean,
I'll tell you quickly. He got our friend Anubis. He's like optimization slot. He's like, it has to be maximum 3 materials, and like Curio had like 5, and he was like, no, get it down to 3. And like he's like, no,
Get it
5 is
down to
okay.
3.
Or like
We-
I
I don't
had 7.
know,
Like
it's
7 is
just-
okay. Like, yeah,
it's just like
there was,
the meta.
yeah.
The meta. That's
Yeah.
what interests me the most, to be honest. And it's like you have like all these people who are like you have the people who are interested in models, right? They're the ones who
Mhm.
actually know how to do like they know Blender, they know Unity, they actually know how to
Yeah,
optimize
yeah.
avatars. They optimize their avatars, right? Then you have the people who don't know shit about models, and they either have avatars uploaded to their account by people who also don't know shit about avatars, or they
Yeah.
or they
There's
just
a
get it
lot
from a
of
world
let's
who also don't
just
know shit about
we
avatars.
already discussed this in a previous one.
Yeah.
Where we had
I'm sorry, I missed it.
oh no I've been doing this for nearly 3 months. I don't blame anyone for missing anything, but it comes down to there are a lot of hack frauds in the avatar business.
Mm.
Yeah.
People
And
who
also,
just
I
want to
mean,
make a quick buck and then
I mean,
just give
I mean,
you
it's
like
also just like
a 150
Yeah.
material Toho port.
yeah, yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, like
That's
like
too many
like most
materials.
VIC mods avatars are like 50
Yeah, they're
materials.
too
Like
shit.
I'm like
Yeah.
just throw it in there. It's fine. It's
throw it in
fine.
there.
Mhm.
Clipping closed everywhere.
Oh.
Yeah.
yeah, it's just
On model,
Uh-huh.
or as we know him, Sentinel, is saying,
Oh,
you
his
didn't
model.
even invite me for this one. Well, you were on the previous one. You can't be on everyone. And there's
you have to
be on
only,
everyone, what do you
3
mean?
seats. There's only 3
Yeah.
seats.
can
Oh, he
slide
says,
in.
There's only
oh.
3 seats.
look at that spot. Look at that empty spot that could have on model there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
This could have been yours, buddy.
Th-
This
th-
could have been yours.
Could have been yours, but it's not.
Look at this.
Sadly.
This is some decent
It's-
upholstery right here.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah, exactly.
steady seat you got there. That's a prime
Mhm,
seat.
mhm, mhm.
Okay. Anyway.
Yeah, it's comfy.
Too bad.
Uh,
On topic,
Yeah.
back on topic.
yeah, back on topic. We talked about optimization. Me and my friends are pretty hellbent on it. So,
Mhm.
Yeah.
one of our friends nearly atlases
Some-
everything.
Yeah, you can call him out. You can call out
Yeah.
Rock.
Rock, if you're watching, I know you're not because you're in the game.
Whoa.
I was just talking to him earlier.
Rock,
Oh yeah.
you know Rock Polar.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's funny.
Didn't even know.
He's my real life best friend. I got him into this game.
It's
Oh,
true.
dang, there you go.
Yeah, there you go. Everyone knows
Dang,
Rock.
everybody in this
Small
game
world.
knows each other,
That's
man.
something that I've done my best not to do.
Everybody knows
Introduce
each
your
other.
I've
friends.
kept my
I've
friends away
tried.
from this game.
Well,
I've tried
I
to
tried
get
it,
in,
none
but
of
they don't
none
have
of
the.
them liked
I mean,
it.
a
Yeah.
lot of my
I mean,
friends.
desktop mode is also not the best.
Yeah, desktop mode
It's,
is a very
if
poor
you're
fine.
Not.
But if all your
Yeah.
friends have VR, it start getting a little shitty. that's,
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
that's my experience. Like the more I
Right.
played, the more friends I got who got VR, and I was like, kind of need VR. And that's how I got here. That's how I got here. So Polar, do you have VR, or are you desktop?
I do
through
have
and through?
VR, but the problem, I do have VR, but the problem is the moment that I plug in my Bluetooth, it kills my internet.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I heard
Interfering with
that.
it.
Oh yeah, that's what you talked
Apple
about.
just had that same
interesting.
problem.
Yeah,
That's
Mhm.
feels bad.
Yeah.
that's a sad moment we got there. Can we get sad moment?
It really is.
We got a
Got too many
Feel sad, man.
frequencies going on in the ether right
Yeah.
It's terrible. Makes me so mad.
Hello,
There's so many things that I need to test, but I
How
can't.
will darkness, my old friend? I want to use my Bluetooth again,
Yeah.
but it won't. Be there, be square. Okay.
Yes.
Anyway, let's get into the Avatar stuff. Yeah,
Yes,
I got
many
the
Avatar.
I got the removal of legacy animations. I kind of squeezed that in there, but
Maybe
I don't think we need that right now. I think we should save
I
that.
mean we can.
Yeah, we
We can
can.
get into it when it gets removed later.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's. I'm gonna save that. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not gonna burden you with this
Yes,
shit.
it's fine.
Okay.
We're fine.
Avatar commissions. So, you don't model your own stuff, right?
I do.
Oh, you do?
I have. I do, but I don't do it as often for VR chat. Like I
Mhm.
studied game design for 3 years, so I've taken all the courses. I know how to do it. Like,
But you
but
don't
I
do
did
it.
more
You
level
don't do it
designing.
for your VR chat commissions.
Well,
That's what I'm.
no. I'm modeling some stuff. So someone says like, "Hey, I want a bracelet. Hey, I want like this crown." I
Yeah,
can make
but
those parts.
but you
Yeah, but
okay.
I don't do the full body. I do shaping, but
Yeah.
it's mostly time because like I could sit there and like sculpt something for 4 hours,
Yeah,
make it
yeah.
really nice. But most people who come to me like, "Hey, I want this thing," and then like and they send me like 11 parts, like make this for me. I'm like, okay, I'll make it for you. Like it takes me a couple hours. So
Yeah.
like it's basically time versus like what they want. I could
Yeah.
spend
Yeah.
2 days working on it, but if they like it better after shorter time with some already at least somewhat done parts, which I
Yeah.
usually heavily edit.
Yeah, that's
That's
fine.
mostly what I do.
But commissions. Yeah.
I actually have I have a pretty significant. I have a lot of input on this matter. All right.
Hmm.
So I started out doing it. Like I started out doing commissions. I haven't done commissions in a really long time, but
Oh.
I started out by doing commissions. And I would do, I would download MMDs, change their outfits, upload them VR chat for people. That's what my commissions would consist of.
Yeah. Back
And,
in the day.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
back in the day, that was like, I think like 4 or 5 months ago was the last time that I
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
did that because I just got burnt out from commissions. I hate
Yeah.
commissions. I like
Oh.
almost never
Yeah.
do them. But
That's an interesting take
I-
on the topic.
Yeah.
I'm a very poor example. I do my models for myself, and I'm trying to get better because I don't think I'm as good as I could be.
But you
and
were
I'd
the
like
one who
to-
wanted
like,
to
I've just-
talk
I'm the
about
same,
this,
I'm
and you
the
don't
same.
even do it.
Well,
I don't. Well,
did
I
do
do.
it.
No,
I mean, I
he
not
does it.
commissions.
let's say like so. Curio still do commissions, but I do like 1 or 2 commissions a week. He does 1 or 2 commissions every 3
every
4
4
months. Yeah.
So
it's
it's not about it's not really about I don't know. It's just the issue is that, and it goes back down to like the MMD thing, is that I feel like I'm selling other people's work, because originally when I first started doing MMDs, like I didn't know how to make models at all. I was like PolarStar. I didn't even know. I remember having a conversation with somebody about Unity and being like, oh wow, that's so cool. I didn't know this thing existed. It's neat. Now I hate Unity with a
Yeah.
I love
passion.
Unity.
Yeah,
I hate
yeah.
Blender.
But
I really
that's
hate
neither here
Blender.
nor there.
I love
But
everything.
I love Blender. Blender's amazing. Blender's
Blender's
actually
Yeah,
amazing.
but here's the thing.
Yeah,
my,
it's my friend. I love
my,
it.
It's
my,
great once you know how to use it.
my scroll wheel's
Yeah.
broken, and new mouses are incredibly expensive.
Oh my god.
I actually don't use my scroll wheel.
Oh?
I
I
do
use
all
the scroll wheel
work.
for everything.
Oh.
I
do
don't
it-
use the
I'll- I
scroll
do
wheel
it-
for anything.
I use the scroll wheel
Don't
for
use the
everything,
scroll
dude.
wheel
If I didn't have my scroll wheel, I would die.
Yeah.
I would
Dude,
honestly die.
my mouse also doesn't have a scroll wheel. So
What?
I mean,
I would
What?
die.
This man has no scroll wheel.
well,
no scroll wheel, and I still do Blender.
I mean, I'm not
So,
saying I don't have 12 keybinds. I may not have a Razer Naga with all the 12 buttons on the side, which have keybinds with different keybinds
but-
already. So I mean,
I see.
Sentinel.
Yeah,
Everybody's
uh,
got different ways of
like
doing
that.
things.
Sentinel is a
What's
friend
he
of
got for us?
ours, and he has his own
Yeah.
indie company, and he also makes his stuff from scratch. His stuff's really cool. If you're interested in the stuff he does, I advise checking out one of my past podcasts.
Oh, yeah,
He's
sounds
really
like a
cool
life.
dude. He's
Sounds like
currently
good
in
stuff.
chat, so yeah,
yeah.
he does really cool work. He I don't know if you guys know Zone, but he made the Zonetron avatar for Zone.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's really cool.
Yeah.
You go check out his stuff.
Guy loves robots.
Yeah,
love
and
robots.
his robots are great. He has
Yeah.
a red robot with a green eye, and it's fantastic. It just looks really great.
He's
I
got a
really
blue
like
robot
it.
as well.
Crazy.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
He doesn't like it if you say he can only do robots.
he's no. He's like, I can do anything. And people just always ask me to make robots. That's what he says.
He just
Yeah.
beep boop.
Yeah, he says
Yeah.
beep boop.
Ugh.
Oh, that's good. But yeah, Avatar
Okay.
commissions. Me and I'm just gonna call them my friends, for the sake
Mhm.
of it.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
We well, I'm just gonna speak for myself first.
Yeah.
I don't mind it. Like, I know people like people like you,
Yeah.
people like you. I know people from how am I gonna say this? Best way to say it is you guys, you make money
Yeah.
off of existing work.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Mhm.
there's several degrees here. You got people who create everything from scratch, like Polar. That's really cool. You get people who do model splices and like edits, like you guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's completely fine too. But I know people who make people pay for just game rips.
They don't
Yeah.
make people
Oof.
pay.
Yeah,
They
Well,
can
like,
charge
it's
for
like-
game rips.
I know.
Like,
I know.
I think
Not
of-
even
of
pay
I
the
know.
for game rips.
Yeah.
I know people who
Basic stuff.
who sell Monster Hunter World assets, and I do
Yeah.
not approve of that.
I mean, obviously there's a question of legality there. You can't make a
Yeah.
you can't make a bona fide
100%
business out of
is.
selling other people's assets.
Yeah.
But
Right,
but when it comes
exactly.
down to smaller what individuals are doing, then it's not a matter of you selling a product. It's a matter of you selling your time. And that's the way
Yeah.
that I looked at it for the first longest time too. I mean, obviously, so here's the deal. You have somebody, say you have somebody working a job, make $20 an hour, $30 an hour,
Yeah.
right? You think that they wouldn't want to spend somebody, or they wouldn't want to give somebody $30 for an hour of their work instead of the 40 hours it would take to figure out how to do it on their own? Like, it's
That's
just a
fair.
matter of
Yeah.
economy.
Yeah,
It's a
but
matter of
it's-
somebody having something that they'd rather give to somebody else than learn it themselves.
It's still
Yeah.
stealing official assets.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
no,
Like
Yeah.
MMD. What I think is even worse is people downloading something from Bullroll and selling that for $30, because I know that happens as
Yeah.
well.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And I
Well,
think that's
yeah, if there's
this
no
I mean-
formatting
awful.
going on. If
I
there's-
mean,
I mean,
people sell passwords
amount
as
of work.
well. But yeah.
yeah,
But like,
it's the amount of work
yeah.
put into it, I would say.
Yeah.
Because
the amount of work.
realistically
Do you know?
speaking, anybody,
I can download a model from Bullroll, put it into VRChat in 5 minutes. I'm not. I will never charge a single dollar for that.
Yeah.
And there's
I think-
people.
yeah,
Although
I
I do
think-
have
There's people
People
paying a
will pay
shit
for
ton
that,
of money
though.
for that.
Yeah.
I
But
do have a decent amount of input on
people are
this.
lazy. That's the main thing. Like, people are just
Yeah.
fucking lazy.
People can't be
That's
bothered
why.
to do it themselves.
Yeah, and then if someone like, hey, can you just fix it for me? Like, I give you $20. Like, sure. And then they have it
Yeah, but
in the next
there's
hour, and they're
people
like, oh, I'm
making
happy.
making thousands of dollars with this kind of shit.
Well, that's because there's a market for it.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
market,
yeah.
but it's not a respectable job. You're
Mm.
basically
To
ripping
you, it
people
isn't.
off.
yeah,
Yeah, well, the reason that I've only ever made one model from scratch, right?
Yeah.
I've got like 320 of them because I can't stop making them, and like all models are taken. I've got models from games. I've got models from. I've got some MMD stuff. I've got a lot of stuff from Source Filmmaker, things like that. But
Yeah.
the reason I don't do commissions, and I've never, I mean, I've considered it, but and I've got, I've had people ask if I would, but I don't know. I don't feel honest doing it. I don't feel
Yeah.
I wouldn't feel honest selling a model that I didn't make. You know what I mean? If I made it from scratch,
Mhm.
sure, but I can see selling your time. Like I get
Yeah,
that. I can
but
totally
like
get behind that,
like
but
I said,
me,
like
it's
with
just
Qyr and
personally,
Curio,
I just-
they do
just don't want to
like
do it.
MMD
Yeah.
splicing
yeah,
and
they do big
editing.
stuff, yeah.
They do a lot
No.
of
Yeah,
cool
there's a lot of
stuff.
time. There's a
But-
lot of work
no,
in there.
But when you just
Yeah.
pull a Miku from Bull Roll and you charge $30 for uploading that, I think that's wrong.
mean,
that's just bad.
I think that
Mm.
I think the issue comes
Mm.
down to commercial. If it's not, you apply commercial mentality to an individual and you're making a mistake. Because if somebody took, instead of it doing for one person, like, hey, I want the basil goose from Monster Hunter. All right, here you go. It'll be $10. I'll do it for you, no problem.
Yeah.
All right. Instead of somebody having a store page that says, buy these Monster Hunter assets from me.
Yeah, but
I have
that's the
every
issue.
single one.
We
And
had
if you give me, it's only $10 each.
Yeah.
Make a shopping cart. Fucking here's all the files.
That's
Like that's a
the
completely
real.
different
Yeah,
thing.
but that's
Yeah,
where
that's
the
real.
problem comes in. This person that I'm talking about, and I'm not gonna name
No,
I'm not
names,
gonna
no
name them.
names.
But they want a VR chat marketplace. And they've
Yeah.
been making
I mean, it does
edits.
exist though.
No, listen. Like
Hmm?
an official one. Anyway, they've been
Okay.
editing Dead or Alive models, and they told me,
Mm.
listen, GV, I want.
Say it.
I'm gonna
Say something in
say
chat.
it. He
I
said,
radio.
I will email the people behind Dead or Alive and see
Oh, yeah,
if
I
I
remember
can
this.
strike a deal with them for a cut of the profit.
So
Yikes.
how many singular points of IQ does that dude have? Like 5, 7 maybe?
Hmm?
I don't know.
He's a
Interesting.
he's
I
a
do have a
dreamer.
bit of
He's a
input on
dreamer.
that.
Yeah.
He's a
yeah.
dreamer.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
a
by all
dreamer.
means.
Yeah,
Or,
yeah.
or
by all means.
stupid, yes.
Well,
So-
and you can look at it. You can look at it on either side of with that mentality. You can look at it as we're not big enough. Like this guy isn't big enough to be able to make an impact on Dead or
Right.
Alive enough to
Right.
be able to give them any chip
Yeah.
of the profits. They don't want a chip of the profits. But at the same time, that's the same mentality that makes it so this Dead or Alive's never going to come after this guy because he doesn't make any fucking money. They don't care about him.
Yeah.
Well, that's
The
the
market
problem.
isn't
He
there.
does.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, he probably.
But not
I mean,
enough
I'm sure
compared
he
to the
makes
game
some,
sales.
but it's not
Oh,
enough.
no, no.
Yeah, game sales. You know, we're talking industry here. We're
Yeah,
not talking
yeah.
about just some dude on some fucking
Yeah.
small game with like 5,000 people playing
Yeah,
it
yeah,
now.
yeah.
If it
However
doesn't
many
hit
are
their
playing
bottom
VR chat
line,
anymore.
then they're not
Yeah.
going to care.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
But that's why I like VR chat too. There's a lot of
Mhm.
freedom.
Yeah.
Freedom. Even though
Yeah.
a lot of it
Yeah.
gets taken away from us, but let's not get into that too much.
Every update
I'm
they remove
trying.
some.
I'm
But yeah.
trying to stay positive.
PolarStar wanted to say something. He said he had insight on this. I want to hear what he has
Go
to say.
ahead.
Sure. So, as you probably imagine, I get asked for commissions regularly.
No
I've already
shit.
gotten asked
Me.
18 separate times for a Bowser Peach.
Oh,
Oh no! The little amount of time that she's been out.
Oh my
I've been
God.
at 18 times and like
It's only
7
been, like,
times for the
4
the boo
days.
Peach.
Yeah, and it won't be
Yeah.
much longer.
Yeah,
Right,
but
that thing.
here's the thing though, is
Oh no, he's switching.
even
to
getting asked
Of course
that
I
many
am.
times
What do you think?
for
I
commissions,
do.
etc. The trouble is, and right on the same page
Well,
with
that's the wrong
Curio
one.
here,
Oh.
is I would not want to make
He'll come
a
back.
model from scratch just because it would take so long, and the amount of money that I would have to ask for it to make sense would make me feel guilty. Like,
Mm.
I will
And
tell you right
I
now,
like that.
like I would tell you right now, I'm actually currently working on a model for somebody. I'll have to actually get up and change into it.
Oh,
Sure.
we're getting
Actually
sneak
currently
peeks,
working on a
people.
model for somebody.
Oh, hey,
And
Lynn.
it's still kind of broken because this is something that I haven't
Hi, Lynn.
actually really looked into doing. So
Yeah.
it's something where I have to kind of test things out
Yeah,
as I
there he
go.
is. He's sneaking
but-
along.
This
Oh, yeah.
this one gal, really nice gal in Norway, fronted me $800 to start working on this project,
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
There's a lot to it. There is a lot to it. I'm not even sure if this is going to wind up playing on the camera, but the idea was for it to have animations to it.
oh
And
yeah.
it may or may not
Yeah, it
actually
does.
wind
Yeah.
up
Yeah.
showing up. Now, the question
Yawning and
is, does
stuff.
the butterfly actually show
I see
up?
a butterfly.
I see,
I see a
yeah.
butterfly.
So for
Yeah.
some people, the butterfly shows up. Some people, the butterfly doesn't show up. But then also, there's the added irritation of the animation just kind of cuts at the end of it.
Yeah.
And teleport back in and stuff.
That's
Yeah,
There's
VR
a
chat
lot of
stuff.
this kind of
Welcome
stuff.
VR
Yeah.
chat.
Making things for fucking VR chat,
There's
dude.
a
That's
lot
what
of
that's why it's so
exactly,
frustrating.
and that's the thing, is these are custom models from scratch,
Mhm.
and I have to work on all these kinds of strange things that come up in the way of it, and it's demotivating, right? This person trusted me with just fronting me $800
That's
immediately for the
insane.
cost of the entire
That's
project,
that's
and
that's
I'm
a
still
lot.
finishing it. It's
That's
it's
fake,
been
dude.
it's been about a month and a half. It's been about
I
a month
remember
and
when
a
you
half
started
Yeah.
working on
of
that.
working on it.
But
Yeah,
but
and
Yeah.
you know. So
I'm
I
sure.
was streaming at that time. You popped
Yeah.
in there, didn't you? I remember you
did.
came in.
Yeah.
But I'm still working on that. It's not
I'll
done yet.
change into my
I'm
customer.
sure
That's why
you
it is
can.
that I don't do commissions.
I'm sure you
Yeah.
can make it work, but like the pressure
That's
must be suffocating.
It is kind of.
It's the
And
worst.
it's not
It's really the
anything where
worst.
I definitely
What?
don't
How did
blame
Elsie
her
get in here?
for that because hey, how's it going, Elsie?
Yeah.
Hey. But
Yeah. Okay.
but yes, it is a lot of pressure. It's not something where it is that I wanted her to feel pressured because it was
Yeah.
something that I had agreed to do it because I thought, hey, you know what, this would be a great learning opportunity for me to try and
Yeah.
get some custom animation work done. But it wound up being way more than I bargained for, and
Yeah.
I should have kind of
Hmm.
expected that with the limitations of what it is that you can and can't do with VR chat.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yes, time for money doesn't make sense to make things from complete scratch unless
No,
you're doing
it
something as
doesn't.
basic
Yeah,
and
it almost
rudimentary.
never
Nice.
makes. It almost never makes sense.
This-
Realistically,
this-
it's not
This
a
yeah,
current
something I wanna
model that I
subject
have
myself
right
to.
now, this
Yeah.
current model that I have right now, I started working on last Wednesday, so it's at least
Yeah.
7 days.
Yeah.
This one
Yeah.
right here.
Mhm.
So
yeah.
looking at this right like this, you would have to think about, okay, 7 days worth of work. How much would that cost?
Yeah.
Yes,
Would
like
you
too-
actually
too
want to
much
pay
for
that amount of money for
anyone.
what it is that you're
Yeah.
seeing right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's
Too
too
much.
much. Yeah. But
Yeah. And yeah.
Yeah.
there's a certain well, kind of idea you need to get behind because you can't charge like hourly rates unless you're working for a company that
Mhm.
doesn't care. You can't
Yeah.
because it just doesn't make sense for someone like me or anyone here to pay like company rates for a model because you'd be looking at thousands of bucks.
Well, yeah,
Exactly.
I've
So-
I've looked at
so
on this then.
It's especially like when you're doing commissions from scratch, you gotta it's just part passion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, like and
It's
this
just-
whole like money per hour thing is like a big thing. Like I think I'm the only one, I currently do money per hour. Like before I did like a base value, but I basically do like I think I do $12 an hour or something like that because I usually finish my models. So like sometimes I do like $100 minimum for a whole model and I work like several days on it. But if I finish it
right.
faster, I'll charge less because it took me faster. So usually I have like I assume I would take 8 hours, so that's going to be 8 times whatever the money is. But
Yeah,
if I'm
yeah.
faster, they pay less because I didn't have to
Right.
do as much as I thought. So but like for Curio example, who does at least most of the outfits from scratch. And the time you spend on them, like people aren't willing to pay, even if he pays more than double, like charge more than double than I do, or off my models, it's
matter
not
of,
worth
like,
it.
People are
because it takes
paying you.
so much longer.
People are paying you money as an artist because that's basically what PolarStar. You and I are. We're artists. We're creating our own things.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
People are paying us X amount of money so that we can make our own unique work, or
Yeah.
they could go into or they can go into like Bull Roll or something and download a
Yeah.
model for free,
Yeah.
and then do the formatting themselves. And then it's.
Yeah.
I mean, there are people out there who do it as a hobby and
Yeah.
are also MMD creators,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like they do amazing work, and you could just get
Yeah.
that shit for free. And it's like for some people who don't spend all their time looking at models and who play VR chat for like 3 hours a day tops, they
Yeah.
don't see all these models and they don't give a shit about
Yes.
that.
It's
So
also
it's
it's
like
also
there's a huge disparity. It's just there's a gigantic. It's just there's so much going on with it.
It's also a super big difference. Like Curio, like most of your avatars are like, okay, here's a Blender model with faces. But most people come to me like they already have their OC model. Like here you go, Qyr. Here's my finished MMD model. It has faces. Now make it cool. Okay, give it armor, make it shoot fire, make it fly. I want to turn invisible. Like so because
You're taking something
I
that's already existing.
yeah. So because I like before VR chat I didn't do that much like actual 3D modeling. I studied game design for 3 years, but since everyone else was trash at like level design and like that kind of stuff, so my friends, you build the environment, you build the characters, I do all the animation. I did the code for the animation and I rigged it up. I did all the Unity like particle, all the final process part in Unity basically for the avatars, and I built the worlds.
Yeah.
So like that's what I'm like specialized in. At least I was in the start. So people came to me like, "Hey, I have this model, but I want it to be a wizard." Okay, so I'll find a wizard hat in the staff, and then I repaint it because I'm pretty good at Photoshop. And then I like, okay, let's look through my a million packs of particles I have, or like sometimes I make them myself if they want something specific.
Yeah.
And then I like, and then I spend the 6 hours or how long time it takes to make them maybe some custom blend shapes sometimes if they want something more custom, or like some particle effects. I also do like many of the RPs. They want like they do like fantasy style RPs on stream and stuff, and they want like if they say like I do a lightning bolt, they don't want to be there. They don't want the like, hey, I'm LARPing in the woods, lightning bolt. They want to shoot fucking a cool lightning bolt that explodes. And it's cool like cinematically. So like you have to kind of set it up. And sometimes I also figure out how to do some pretty cool movement abilities. Like you can do a toggle gesture or a gesture to like do a jumping attack. You launch up in the air, like precise flying with colliders. Invisibility, how to disable meshes,
that anybody could use, exactly.
Yeah, and sometimes even like sound effects, like you can do like your sound effect to do a slapping sound, but if you want to have a slapping sound when the gesture, when you do like those small things, like also brings it like it ups the immersion of the character, like then just the visual and like I also like I do a lot of combined gestures. So even I know we have like, especially on Oculus, I have like 5 gestures I can use because movement is one and open hand is, I don't want to touch that shit. So I do a lot of, so basically when I bring out the weapon in one hand, all the other gestures enable empty game objects underneath the weapon. So I can have like, if I have a gun, I can have like 5 different shots with other hand, or like you can have a reloading on one gesture. So I can do like, I can have like 2 items that have fully equipped with animations up to like 14 animations or so, and that's that kind of stuff is basically what they come to me for. Like, of course, I can take a model bash or make from scratch, but most people like come to me like, hey, I want to make my already existing model cool. So like. So like, even though and the ethics thing, like, of course I do take a model which already exists and do something out of it.
You're not selling it as it is.
Yeah,
like you're actually,
and I actually have both the packs on Unity, so I own the all particle systems.
You're actually working on something rather than taking something that was put online for free and selling it.
Yeah. I mean, and sometimes people like, I did 2 commissions today. Like a girl was like, "Hey, I like this model, but I want some cool tattoo textures, and I want them to glow in the dark, like my old model had." So I was like, "Okay, I'll grab some. I'll go to the website. I get some cool tattoo fonts. I put them together, put them in a cool way. I do a reverse texture, and so that's kind of stuff I do. Like,
it's nice that people like you are there to do that for people who can't do it.
Yes, but I'm like one more talking point on that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No. I've been talking. I talk for too much. I know.
It's okay. It's okay. I mean, that's what we're all here for anyway.
Yes.
But yes, one more talking point on that definitely is that it's frustrating when people come to you and they expect the same quality that you put into your work, but they don't necessarily realize how long you've spent on it.
Oh no! Right. Yeah, we talked about. So
you could have a.
We talked about this before. You're gonna talk about like people knowing nothing about the time it takes to 3D model.
Sure. And the other thing about that though is that if you don't have any interest and you don't have any sort of value in seeing someone's character or something, and it's not something you necessarily wanted to do, you're not gonna. It's going to feel really dishonest to kind of half-ass it and only do sort of half quality. You're not going to have the love interest that you do with your own characters.
I think that's a very important part, especially when making something from scratch. It's you got to be invested in what you're making. You got to find it exciting and interesting to work
Yes.
on, and that's that's the same. You know what? I'm just I've had this model because the fourth game released, but I don't care. I'm gonna switch into my custom model
Yeah,
just so we can talk
Are
about
we
it.
getting Shark?
Yeah, we're getting Shark.
the
Did you
shark
get
one,
any Shark?
the thick shark, which
Yeah, we get
needs a
the
bit
Shark.
thicker though. Needs more ass physics.
Shut up.
Yeah, Reed. Yes.
So yeah,
I'm sorry.
we got Shark here, and Shark is almost completely custom. And yeah, the person who made this actually she really liked the design of the character, so she well she was just really invested in the project, and you can tell
Mhm.
even weight painting is always
Mm.
shitty. Um, you can tell like these boots.
Yeah, I saw.
Let's
I
just
saw
talk
it.
about the boots. The person was like, "Oh yeah, I like buckles, so I'm gonna put buckles on the boots," and they just spent
Yeah.
like a day on just the boots because they liked it so much. And that's the kind of passion you
Yeah.
need. And I can imagine that when someone comes up to you and they're like, "Yeah, I want this model," and you're like, "Yeah, that's nice. Thanks for the money.
Mhm.
I'll get on it." But it's not the same when you can put
Yeah.
your entire heart and soul into the creation of this, or
Yes.
into the project.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I totally understand
Yeah.
that.
Commissions
Yeah,
are pretty
it's a big
tiring for sure.
like this outfit I'm right now is not finished, but like this is me like sitting between commissions. Like, okay, I want to make an avatar from scratch. So I found a reference image online and started like building out all the geometry and shit. So now I just have to spend like
Hey,
another
legends.
3 days texturing and that kind of
Yeah, I was
stuff. So
gonna say.
like, it's like I do custom stuff from scratch as well, but it just takes so much longer. So like I have
Yes.
always like
Yes.
4 pet projects that's lying in Blender or like at least
Yeah, but
coming
you
game
know
halfway finished.
that's
Uh-huh.
that's
Yeah.
also like a morality thing. I'm gonna say
Yeah.
it's not someone anyone could get behind. But when you're making your own stuff, there's people who just do anything for money. But I do think
Mhm.
passion in this field is very important. Like you said,
Absolutely.
you can't just shit out an MMD model and get your money's worth, and that's fine. But it's never going to be as nice or as complete as a passion project.
Right. And people could probably argue, well, I'm paying you to do it. You shouldn't have to enjoy it. You're getting money out of it.
Yeah, but
It's like,
that,
well, okay,
if
but I don't want to spend my time doing that.
well,
I'm not going to be happy with you by the end of it.
no, exactly, and
Yeah.
I do understand that. Thanks for the lasagna. I don't
Yeah.
like cheese, but I'll take it. Um,
Yeah.
but I do very much understand where you're coming from, because
Okay.
I used to be a writer, and I don't care how many money they paid me, but
Oh.
if I can't enjoy what I'm putting down on the paper, it's never going to be as
Mhm.
good as something that I really do enjoy working on.
Right. Exactly.
So yeah,
Yeah, I know that feel.
that's that.
Yeah. About it, like you talk about enjoying models, like and we talked earlier about there's a market for models and stuff. So like I have even though I do like about 2 commissions a week, like I'm pretty like most people have a list of avatars or like commissions they do. But
Yeah.
since there's such an like demand for avatars, like my list is literally the people who pester me the most and send me and like and remind me like, hey, here's my idea for the model. Like, if you pitch me on a super good idea, I'll do it.
Yeah, but are you
if it's really
charging
fun,
money
I'll
for
do it.
that?
Yeah. I don't think I don't need the money. If a commission is gonna make me half the money, but it sounds double as fun, I'll do it.
Yeah, well,
For me, the enjoyment of the model is a lot more important
fun
than the money.
fun thing is, I have a real world example. Like we're talking about
Yeah.
3D modeling and VR chat, but I
Yeah.
once bought a custom gun replica, and
Yeah.
they were like, yeah, usually I charge double this, but because I really love this gun model and the project, and because I like you, I'm gonna do half because I really like the model, and that's also something. Well, it's kind of commendable. It's yeah,
Yeah.
I just like that. Like people who are honest about their passion, because yeah,
Yeah.
you can be a slave laborer. You know, you can get your money, you can type on your keyboard, you can do your Blender, you can do your Unity, and then oh yeah, I just made $10. Well, it's never going to be as
Yeah.
satisfying as seeing something walk around that you're really invested in.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And it's not something that you want to put your name on if it's something that you're not
Yeah.
proud of. So imagine doing a commission that you just had to rush out the door because you did it for the sake of money,
Yeah,
and then you see it
Yeah.
around and they're parading it around and they're all proud of it, and you're sitting there like, God, I
yeah,
can't
no,
believe
but
I did that.
And then you go
but
up, and then you go up like,
that's
look at the
where
white painting, look at the white painting. No, it's clipping.
No,
That-
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know what you
exactly.
mean. I know what you mean.
that's
Like,
where
clipping my hand.
that's where I do think that is a very important subject, because probably the people who make the most money on VR chat are people like that. Just, oh yeah, you pay me, I'll do this. Done.
Yeah, actually, that's not true. I know people who earn even more. Like, I'll say his name, Toga, for example. I don't know if you've been as well. He has a pretty big world with avatars with really cool animations. They have like super like
I'm aware of this
elaborate,
world, yeah.
like he has super cool animations, and he sells avatars. Like you can go to message him, you can sell them for $60 to $100, and people buy that shit like crazy. Like some Russians come up to him like, "I'll buy 5," and they buy 5 of them like straight up. Like
I can't get
and
behind
they're
that.
fine with that.
You know, I
Yeah.
can't get behind that, because for that price, you can get your very
Yeah,
own
yeah.
thing.
Yeah, but the
That's-
thing, the
but
thing
that's
is,
the
should he
people's
say
fault.
no though? Yeah, exactly. That's not his fault. Like,
No, that's
he, like
but
in the beginning,
I
he
can't
didn't
blame
sell him
him.
at all.
I can't blame him.
Yeah, yeah,
I can't blame him.
yeah,
That's the same issue I have with mirror streamers.
yeah.
I can't blame them,
Hmm.
because
Oh,
they're
yeah,
earning
bam, man.
fat stacks for doing basically nothing,
Yeah.
and I hate it.
If a market's
I
there,
hate
people
it.
are going to exploit it.
I really hate it, but there's a market for
That's
it. So
capitalism.
Yeah,
baby.
yeah.
I
TV,
hate.
all you have to do, become mute, become a cute girl, stand in the mirror, maybe use text to speech. That's where the big bucks is. Easy clap.
Yeah, I
Easy
bet.
clap.
You want to hear
Somebody
the
clip
funny
that.
story, and everyone
Yeah.
who's watching knows this story. But I actually started making talk shows and world tours with the creators, in spite of those people.
Yeah,
Because I went on Twitch, I wanted to check out what VR chat was about, and all I saw was this shit,
Mhm.
and I was like, that's not the game.
yeah,
That's not what the game has to offer. That's not
Well,
what
at
the
least for
people
you,
have
at
to
least.
offer.
yeah. I mean, some people they used to enjoy like. So I think there's like two split kind of communities. Some people just want to sit in a chat and talk to people. That's all they want to do. But like, at least you, in personal person, you want to see like more directed content. You want actual like
I want content. Yes.
more planned. Yeah,
Yes,
planned
I don't.
content.
I don't.
Like,
I don't need someone standing in front of a mirror
Yeah,
6
no.
hours. That's not going to entertain me.
Yeah, but it's a whole Twitch thing. Like many podcasts and stuff, like gets pretty good views, and many more planned content does as well. But most people on Twitch, people don't care what the game they play. They can have a black screen. They just want to sit there and hang and chat like with a friend, and that's their whole appeal. So and
know
most
that
streamers are
feel.
just an extension
Yeah.
of that basically.
People
Here's
get attached to a personality.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
But here's an interesting topic. Legends brings up. Legends is one of our friends. He's
Oh, yeah.
very good
Mhm.
at what he does. He makes worlds, and his worlds.
He makes good worlds and doesn't release them.
Yeah. He has great projects, but never releases them to the public. But people like that, the only remotely successful person who is making a world I've seen is Lakuza, our friend. Streamers stream his world. He gets a lot of attention. But a
It's not
lot
even
of
done yet.
no, it's not even
I mean, I
done
stream
yet.
my worlds.
But
Oh,
there's
yeah.
a
Check
lot of
those out.
stuff
Yeah.
in this game that has a lot of potential, a lot of really fun stuff, and it just doesn't see the light of day, and it's so
Yeah.
sad. And that's why I decided
Yeah, I agree.
to cater to the people that actually like contribute to the game rather than abuse the
Yeah.
game to get $50 for standing in a mirror. That's why I make scripted content. That's why I do world tours. That's why I do interviews with world creators, because those are the people that keep the game alive.
Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna run into that with anything, though. There's
Yeah.
always gonna be creators and consumers. That's just how the world works. That's
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
reason. That's the basis upon
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, of
which
course, but
capitalism
Yeah.
is
a
founded
lot
upon.
of the creators aren't even recognized, and that's what upsets me, because the people
Yeah.
that I work with are incredibly talented, and nobody looks at them because they're too busy standing in the pub.
Hey,
Yeah.
yeah, you'll run into that.
It's
You'll run into that
it's
a lot.
I mean, it's also like I know a lot of work creators, but the sad thing is like
Yeah, but
the
do they
more-
make hangouts or do they make something revolutionary?
they do both. And the thing is like most people who make worlds are usually super nerds. If I'm gonna be fair, and
Super
most
nerds.
and most super nerds don't like to like stand in a room with 10 people and socialize. They like to sit there with one or two friends, and that means they won't get as much exposure. Like there's not that many super social word creators. Like Sion made Gaia Knight. He's an awesome dude, but he's not the one who comes up and like talks super much. He's more like the one who like says a few words now and then.
I wanna,
For example, like,
I wanna thank
yeah.
Yes.
Mr. Dude 64. I'm glad you like it, buddy. Yeah, they are.
Yeah, the Life Free Box is the best map. What do you mean? It's high
No,
quality.
it's really
It's
You can
shitty.
change the colors of the walls now.
Yeah, and
It's
they spend a
amazing.
lot of time on that. Like probably an hour maybe. I mean,
No,
that's a
no.
long
Do you
time.
know the origin of
Yeah.
Lag Free Box? It's funny
Yeah,
as shit.
Tell me.
Well, the
I
origin
don't
of
think
Lag
I
Free
made
Box.
it. It's funny.
Do you know the origin? It's good.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
told me. The guy who made it told me.
Lag Free Box was made by a
Hands
guy
off.
who has
Fuck,
such depressingly shit internet that he couldn't load into any world in the game. So he made the most efficient world just so he could spawn. That's the story
It took him
behind
20
Lag Free
minutes to load
Box.
in one of my models.
Yeah,
20
Yeah.
minutes.
Oof. That's actually
Too
really
bad.
sad.
Too
Yeah.
bad for him.
It's a sad story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
Hey, how's it going, Ace?
yeah. Hello, Ace.
Yeah.
Welcome to the talk show.
Yes.
But yeah, let's have a minute now, like a second of silence for people with terrible internet.
Feels bad, man.
You hate
There
to
we
see
go.
that.
Sad,
Yeah.
sad. Well,
Yeah.
since I started playing this game, I actually discovered that people in a lot of people from the UK have terrible internet.
Yeah, dude, it's trash over here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I didn't see that
Trash.
coming. I mean, I'm from across the Northern Sea, and I like my country has like the best internet in the world aside from Sweden.
Yeah, we have pretty good ones.
Yeah,
Gig up and down, easy clap.
Yeah. That's pretty great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get 30 megs.
Yeah, I got
Yeah.
50. I got 50.
My
Download
phone has
games so
50 up
fast.
and down.
Yeah.
Download
yeah.
games so fast.
Yeah, they're very like there's this new 60 gig game. Let me download it. 30 minutes later,
Real
you're
fast.
knee deep.
Dude, Red Dead 2 is gonna be 105 gigs.
Wait,
Wow.
Oh Christ. Christ. Yeah.
Where are we?
People have been really lazy with optimization lately, especially like big companies. They're like, everyone has a 2080. We shouldn't worry about optimization. We shouldn't worry about compression. Everyone has a million terabytes of storage.
Yeah.
They don't.
I love talking about
Where are we
optimization.
topic-wise right now?
Yeah.
Optimization's my favorite.
I mean, we was free talking right
would,
now, but yeah.
I would talk about optimization if we wouldn't every day. That's kind of the thing. So
Well,
I'm very
it's
sorry.
so important, man.
Yeah, it
It's
is
so important.
important,
It's like
but
it's
the
main restrictor for
man,
VR
the
chat
myth,
besides hackers.
the man,
like
the
it's
myth,
brought
the
up every
legend,
stream.
Rock is not
Draw calls.
here.
Draw
Hey,
calls.
this man has got a 16 by 16 texture on one material.
Yeah.
This is the master of
Oh,
optimization.
here
right
we
here.
have legends. Here we have legends confirming what I stated.
Well, we have the
Legend
it's-
says
it's-
one of
it's-
the main reasons I haven't uploaded a world yet is because of just that. The feeling it will be buried
yeah.
and never recognized anyways.
I mean,
Well,
but wait,
what
I can
the-
tell you.
what?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Well,
Be
what's
first.
the point then? I mean, if you're not going to upload it, then it's also not going to be recognized ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
so
it's never going to
No.
be recognized
Like-
regardless, no matter how
Yeah.
good your world is.
No, GB. Let me tell you a trick how to get worlds popular. You make it, and then you never leave, and then you invite all your friends there, and each time you go in a
That's
world,
that's how we do it. That's how we do Rock's avatar world.
Yeah, hey dude, like, no. So what you do is like, hey dude, this world is laggy. Let's go to let's go. I have a better world, more optimized than your world. And then
not
everyone goes
everybody's
there.
a sellout like you, Qyr.
I mean, I don't give a damn. I always sell out because
Like, hey, this guy, he made a really cool world.
Yeah,
I can't remember his name, but it's really good shit.
It's my must be Qyr. Yeah. This is pretty good.
Why
world
does it
they
say
come
your
here.
name everywhere? And where's your?
I mean,
Nah,
he
don't
must
worry about that.
He must be. Yeah, he's a fan. He's a fan. Yeah, he's a fan. That's why
Hey,
my
Mark,
pictures
you
on the
can
wall.
take your
G1,
face.
G1, I stole this
What?
model and sent a name change request.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not
No, but like,
GV97. I hijacked his Twitch.
my-
I hijacked his
Of course.
Sounds
Discord.
just like him.
Yeah,
Yeah, of course.
I
I
made this smile.
made
Yeah.
Publish your
this is
world's legends. Publish them. They're great.
Yeah,
but
Finish them and publish
Yeah, but
them.
like, yeah.
but
Yeah,
yeah,
but I mean, I look in the list quickly, and we didn't talk about worlds. I guess I'm all on the world creator, but like literally, like if you make a world that you would enjoy with your friends, it will get people. At least if I think if you hang out there with like 5 or 6 of your friends, and it's
Yeah.
friends plus, then their friends will join,
yeah.
then their friends
But
will join, and then
that's how,
and then the room becomes laggy, and then you make it public so we
That's
can have more
how-
instances,
that's
basically.
how G1 and I
Yeah.
usually hang out, just with friends
Yeah.
in friends'
Yeah.
worlds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
join people,
And then you
people
meet
join
your
them,
friends'
and then-
friends, and they're also quite cool. That's what
Yeah.
I like about this game.
Yeah, like
But it's
at least
been it's been a really
yeah,
long
yeah.
while since I've been in a public instance though.
Yeah,
For a long
yeah.
while.
I mean, we can go there soon, TM, when they push the beta through and at the public, so we can actually block all new users, at least their creators and shit, so we can. It's more
R.I.P.
safe.
legend.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
But-
No,
no,
veteran.
no.
R.I.P. veteran.
No. I'm still
R.I.P.
repping it.
veteran.
No, G1. I'm repping my colors, my veteran colors.
Oh
of
yeah,
course.
veteran colors.
I made a veteran model. I'll show it to you later.
That's like this.
I mean, it's
oh,
as a troll to troll my friends.
that's
but
like
yeah.
this pathetic canny to bring back veteran.
Don't call
and
it pathetic canny. They're
Yeah.
allowed to express their opinions on the canny. It's
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
It's,
it's,
it's really pathetic though.
it is,
Yeah.
but don't say it.
I love the candy, dude.
Yeah, the
Next level
canny,
stuff.
yeah.
the canny is the
high
best
quality.
Canny's
place
great.
to waste time and effort. You
Yeah,
put
because-
your heart and soul into
No,
a request, and it'll just get ignored.
I mean, VR Chat is known for their speed in delivering features.
No,
There's totally
VR
no
Chat
things on
is
the
known.
candy.
VR
8
Chat
months,
is
like, they
known
still-
for
yeah.
their fantastic developers and the developers'
I think notorious
comprehension.
is a better word.
Yeah,
the-
notorious.
I think notorious is they're infamous for it.
They're
Infamous
infamous
is
for
a
their
good one.
fantastic and very involved developer team.
Yeah, they get it going.
Yeah.
They
Once they get
really
started, they
know.
never stop.
They
It's-
really
always
know
start.
what they're up to. They
Yeah,
really know
it's a-
what they're
it's a
getting
one-way ticket
into.
to good stuff.
I just
Nice
wish they
one
talked
ticket
to us
to
a bit
snail-
more.
To snail pace, you mean?
Yeah, dude, it's a one-way ticket to broken features that break more things.
It's
Yeah.
a one-way ticket to
Hashtag IK
features
followers.
getting removed.
Yeah.
They were bugs. The features
Nah,
were all
mate.
bugs anyway.
There were
Yeah, of course.
there were significant exploits.
Mm.
Yeah.
Uh,
And I mean, and shares and avatars was, of course, a feature that they.
Yeah,
it's
it's
Batman.
intended to
I like it,
release
though.
too soon, right?
Yeah,
Too
yeah, and then
soon.
Dude, the chairs on Avatar's thing was hilarious.
I
That
mean,
was
it
great
was.
for like 2
Yeah,
weeks.
It
Ooh.
was.
yeah, I'm not saying I had an avatar with 10 times longer arms with shares on each hand, so I could put people on upper floors in puzzle maps or things like that at all. I didn't
But that's
doing
fantastic.
the
I had
Yeah.
so much fun with chairs, and it's taken them fucking
Yeah.
forever to re-implement them.
My
Okay,
favorite thing was
because, like-
some guy made a battle
Yeah.
bus from Fortnite, and we all piled
Yeah.
on
Oh,
the
yeah.
bus.
yeah
Then it would spawn over the map, and then you could drop whenever you wanted.
yeah
So
Where we
fun.
dropping, boys? My God.
Well, yeah. Yeah,
Up on
I remember
presentation.
the Mr. Whiskers whole thing, and doing that thing, I had that avatar. So basically, like, of course, we did the puzzle normally first, but if we wanted to speedrun someone through it, or it bugged out, I would just like, okay, you're stuck there. I'll just grab my hand, pick this chair, I pick them up, I bring them to the new room. Because none of those maps were super scuffed. So I just like sometimes like I just reach through a wall and pick up because like if you have long arms, you can
That's
reach
good.
through walls and pick up items. So I could just like reach through a wall, pick up the item, bring it to a new room. If someone was stuck, you
Hey,
could just pick them up with a chair and
Th-
place them on another thing.
This guy
That's so
living in
nice.
3018.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's from the future. He doesn't think
Yeah.
outside the box, he thinks outside the lag-free box.
Yeah, of course.
Oh God.
Oh,
The future's
man.
here.
It's now, old
But
man.
yes,
But
we
yes.
sort of started on Worlds, and then we sort of got sidetracked.
Very short. I mean, do you have have you guys done any worlds, or is it only me who has touched the whole world creation
I've
side?
done a
I
few.
I
I've done a
haven't
few
touched
stuff.
Worlds yet.
I've got some
Yeah.
stuff that that is in the works.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
a
I know
thing
my
or
way around the
two
world.
about worlds, but I haven't ever touched it myself.
I mean,
Okay.
like if you think about it, like, do you have any like requests, like not for me, but like in general, like, what world would you like to see? Like, do you pitch a good idea for a world that you haven't seen yet?
I wonder Valkyria
Because
I had plenty.
Chronicles headquarters. That's
Because
what
you're
I
obsessed
want.
with that game.
Yeah, I am. I absolutely
I don't know.
100% am. Well,
I've
I'd
seen
love
things like functionally like
Yeah.
new. You know what I
And
mean? Like
honestly-
I love a good hangout. Don't get me wrong, I
Yeah.
like a good hangout, but I want to see worlds that do things that are really cool. Like, have you seen Jet Dog's new world?
Yeah.
He's been
No,
showing
I-
off at the.
He's
The
that's
dev,
the
I
wanna see
hoverboard
it.
thing, right?
I think it's public now. I think it's public. I think it's called A New Perspective or something like that. But
Yeah.
it's I don't know what he does. He's a guy's a wizard, but
Yeah.
he's used some sort of mental camera stuff where you can like see a small version of the world on the table.
Yeah.
Like, the world's just like a big square. You can see the world on it, and you can wear these gloves that are like linked to these
Yeah.
massive like hands in the sky, and you can pick up objects on the table.
yeah.
And it picks them
I
up.
saw it. I saw that.
That's
I saw that.
amazing.
That's
I saw it on. I
it's
saw it on
sick,
stream.
dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
No, but that's
awesome.
like the thing I'm most thirsty for. I'm not saying this because I made a game in school about this.
Oh, yeah.
He sure does love bringing that up.
But yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, but
Did
I
you
love
know
Light and
that he
Shadows.
studied
Yeah,
game
Light and
stuff for
Shadows.
3 years? Did you know that,
3 years.
G1?
Well,
3 years.
I haven't
Bachelor in game
out.
design.
Download
Computer
it. It's
science
free.
bachelor.
Go
Free-
download it on
Well, he's
Cure's
at it,
YouTube
right.
channel.
3
Yeah,
years.
we're
no,
mocap
but-
school.
Yeah.
1 hour a day, mocap.
Yeah,
suit.
1
No,
hour a
no, but
day. He could borrow it for 1 hour, and those suits, they cost
Yeah.
$50,000.
Yeah. No,
Oh,
but
yeah, tell us.
Yeah,
Doug.
tell us.
no, but I was trying to port the game into VRChat, but it was a top-down game, so it didn't translate completely. But like, I want to see like puzzle maps which are based on lighting, so that the whole map is completely dark, and when you interact with stuff, like new lights in the level turn up, like illuminate new areas. So basically like of course there's invisible walls in the darkness, but like I want to like have a map where you like do puzzles which slowly illuminate the whole map, and then when you finish, like the whole
Nice.
map is lit up, like and sometimes some puzzles can be like with shadows, like you can have like you have to angle the shadows correctly to line up perfectly, and then boom, the door unlocks and that kind of stuff, like
know-
illusions,
Make
that
like a
kind of stuff.
Metroidvania kind of thing.
Oh,
That'd be
Yeah, yeah,
cool.
Nah, yeah.
But
I
you
get
know,
that, I get
you
that.
know
That'd be
what,
cool.
what makes me really
It is laggy
sad?
as fuck.
that
Bedtime shadows.
we don't have a simple world
Gotta
with
make
like
sacrifices.
VR darts or pool. Just
Yeah.
simple shit like that. Nobody has thought about
Yeah.
it.
I'm pretty
Well, people
sure
have done it, but it's
pool-
pretty scuffed. It's
found
always
darts
before.
scuffed.
I've
Really?
made
It's always
VR pool
somewhat
before,
scuffed.
but the
darts
physics
are cool.
just
I
isn't
like
great.
darts.
Yeah.
We're good
couldn't get the
darts.
physics.
Did,
work well.
did you have starts? Did you Cervix in his the vault map? If you've
Yeah,
been
the
there.
vault. That's the one that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
They did a good job
But
on
it's
that.
scuffed. They shrink to the they were scuffed. But yeah, he's been working on his
My
map
issue
for
with this,
half a year.
I feel just immensely restricted by just how shitty VR chat is when it comes to just
Well,
structurally.
No, VR
Like,
chat
it just
is
sucks.
amazing.
All of it's bad.
Yes,
it's
yes,
the
Tupper,
best.
It's amazing.
Yes,
Don't ban me,
Tupper.
smile.
Tupper, you got a good ass
Don't
game.
worry,
Love you,
Tupper. I
dude.
Aliced.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's get more than one. Let's get more than one core. How about that?
Yeah.
Let's make it a game.
Oh.
Let's have a real.
No. We're working on upgrading the game to Unity 2017, but we're not telling anyone because it'd be weird to communicate. It'd be
Yeah,
weird
we
to
were
communicate
people to
with the
actually-
fan base.
We're in beta.
No.
It's a
Yeah,
VR
we're
chat
beta.
beta, all right.
Well,
Yeah,
it
we
is
just
beta
gotta
still,
announce that.
actually.
Yeah, but we
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
know
I know.
this. We're not talking. We're not talking about it because imagine a fan base having faith in us. Aside from the
Yeah.
streamers
Remember,
with the camera
Playmaker.
Preposterous.
Oh,
Rest of Dana.
Playmaker, yeah, right.
Yeah.
By
Yeah.
Playmaker,
Rest
like
in peace,
like
rest in
1
peace.
week
That's
before
what
they
happened last
removed
time they made an
Playmaker,
announcement.
they were like, "Yeah, you should buy Playmaker. It's on sale."
Fuck
You know that
Playmaker's
was
on
good.
sale,
Oh,
wink, wink.
oh, that's so. Ooh. Yeah, I love.
$80 asset, wasn't it?
Got us debated.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we need the Unity version as well. Can we please go up to the new version, please, and not
no,
5.6?
they're genuinely working on it, but they're not telling anyone because they're
Yeah,
stupid or
no,
something.
of course they're
But
working on it, but it's
They wanna,
Take it-
but what they wanna do is they want to make sure it's compatible with everything. They want to transfer the entire database of
yeah.
shit they have
And
right
the-
now into
and
Unity 2.
and then
What I'm saying is
It's not gonna
just
work.
wipe it. You'll get rid of all that wasted knuckle space. I'm gonna call it knuckle
Mhm.
space. Like millions and millions of gigs of dead memes will be gone, and people will just upload the things
Yeah,
they still
me too.
use. All the maps that are uploaded that nobody ever looks at, the people that stopped playing, all of the stored content
Yeah.
will
Just
just be
format the
gone.
server box.
Yeah,
I mean, the thing is, they don't have to wipe it. They can also just have it to you have to manually transfer over every avatar in
yeah,
the
but that's
world.
fine, right?
Because-
But they don't do that.
Yeah.
They want
Yeah.
everything
Yeah.
to go with it. Like even the
Yeah.
first, like all the
And-
knuckles
yeah.
that everyone uploaded
Yeah.
ever are gonna try.
Yeah.
They want it
Yeah,
in
There
the
are
new
too
game.
many. There are
And
too
like-
many varieties.
yeah, and the solution for the like problems is the new version of Unity. It has like it has options for like multi-core like processing,
Dude,
like so it can like
the new Unity
handle
will
shit, but
make
it-
this
it'll
game
take forever.
competent.
yeah, it'll make
But
it not
but
bad. But
I don't know
then
about all
then
that.
you know
I
what's
don't know
hap-
about
Yes.
all that.
no,
you
it has
know
the
what's
possibility.
because
Possibility.
Yeah,
it's
not
it's
competent.
it's a first step into competency, but then they need competent devs.
Yeah, but no, but the thing is, like, it already takes them like forever to do like a small social feature.
Yeah, because they're
Porting the game
retarded.
engine is
Because
porting
they're
the game engine
retarded. They can't do shit.
yeah, I mean, but porting the game engine is gonna take them like 2 years of working on it and nothing else. Then the game is dead
Like
already, and something better has come
talked
out.
about that canny earlier, but you know what's really pathetic?
But
That's pathetic. The game, the people behind the game.
I'll
I
get there.
can't. I can't.
One
I
day.
can't.
I have faith.
One day.
You have
I have
faith.
faith in VR chat.
You have
Well, I don't have faith in VR chat
VR
specifically. I have faith.
No.
I have faith in whatever is coming next because
Yeah.
that's going to be the version of VR chat that isn't terrible. As long as I
In
can
this-
make my models, I don't give a fuck
in the-
about.
In the
I don't care
the-
about
the-
gameplay. I don't care about
this-
scripts. I don't care about maps. I just want to make busty anime waifus. That's all I want to do.
that's
I don't
all
care
he
about
wants. He's a
anything
simple
else.
man.
He's a
This is
simple
very
man.
simple.
I can't.
It's-
I
it's
can't
all I
argue
need.
with that. I can't argue with that.
I need nothing
I
else.
mean, look
I
at
don't
you,
even
like,
play this
of
game
course.
anymore. I just play
Oh,
Blender.
Doggy's just
Blender's all
put
I
a
want.
shameless
Blender.
Same
plug.
here. Same
Yeah,
here.
our
Yeah,
friend
I'll play
Doggy is
Unity.
creating an entire engine because he hates VR chat, but he still wants what it has to offer. But he wants to be
he's
in
legit
control.
creating his own engine.
Yeah.
I think this world needs a VR chat. It's perfect. It needs something
Yeah,
along in
but
this
not-
vein of like
but
a
not
sandbox.
Not this.
Yeah,
not with
not,
these
not
people.
This, not this specific one.
No,
Yeah.
but
And
we've
yeah.
been starving for an alternative
Yeah.
ever since they gave the boot to
Yeah.
custom animators. But
Yeah.
it's just not happening.
And
Yeah,
yeah,
we-
what we need
tried.
is
We've
we need to
looked at
just
stuff,
somehow
but-
spin it as a battle royale. If we spin it as a battle royale, then it'll be made
It will.
instantly.
If it worked for
VR
Rec Room,
chat battle
Yeah,
royale.
Rec Room
Yeah.
already
Switch
has
VR chat.
VR battle royale.
but,
My
no,
God.
but like I mean, the actual thing that VRChat
Where the
needs
waifus.
is for it to be like an actual game with if a company can earn any money from anything, then they can hire developers, because currently they can't make money, or like they don't make money, so they don't
there's no way they make
spend
money.
effort.
They just
yeah.
don't have any incentives. They haven't done
Yeah,
any
they-
incentivization
yeah,
of anything
even-
at all.
The devs need incentives to
Yeah.
make shit,
Yeah,
but they don't
but
have
non-
it because
they
the game's
they
business
don't
model.
only not earn money, but they're also incredibly incompetent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like I would pay $10
go
a
hand in
month
hand.
for this game if they could hire 10 Blizzard devs and have
If
them
this-
do magic.
If this
like,
truly, but I said this like at the start of VR chat. If it had like
Yeah.
a $5 entry barrier, I wouldn't care. I've spent so
Yeah.
much time
I
in
wouldn't
this
care.
game. I wouldn't care.
Well, that's the thing
Yeah.
is that I think that that's the issue that we have now is we have a stagnated populace when it comes to VR chat.
Yeah, and
VR
whose
chat,
fault is
There's
that?
not many people jumping into VR chat anymore.
And whose
it's-
fault
it's
is
like-
that?
It's
And-
Well, VR
that's
chat-
but that your solution is to start charging people for it, and all you're doing is
No,
adding
back-
another barrier for people that never
Honestly,
played
Back
this game.
then,
The new
Yeah,
trust
like-
system
Yeah.
coming in next update, that's a huge
Yeah.
barrier. If that
That's
was
a
in when I
bad
started
one.
playing this game, I wouldn't play.
because
I wouldn't
because
be here.
Kyr,
Yeah,
like
no
I
way.
get Kyr's point of view
Yeah.
where he's like, yeah, I can block all the toxic shaders, but you're also blocking like Johnny who just jumped on VR
Yeah.
chat. You're just gonna ignore him because he's new.
We love Johnny.
no,
He's a
it's
good
also
kid.
like thing is though, like if I hope into publics, I'm fine with blocking their shaders, not their voices. I can talk to them and see their avatars, but I don't
Yeah.
if they have like screens like screen covering shaders
but
and that kind of stuff.
The,
like
the
it's mainly
problem
for that
is,
stuff.
if Johnny first joins the game, his safety settings will be on. So all of
Yeah.
the people who are not like us, like people who have
Yeah,
hundreds of hours into the game, he won't be able to see them, like the avatars or the creations, because the standard safety settings are incredibly heavy. Like,
Well, also,
Yeah.
here's hoping that with this update, they're going to get rid of the plague the game for 24 hours before you can upload your own stuff block, because that's kind of that's a very ridiculous barrier. 24
Yeah.
hours
no,
of
it's
not
it's
being able
not
to do
just
one of the most
that.
important things of the game.
It can be
Yeah.
more than it can be much more than that. One of my
Of
friends had
gameplay.
like 42 hours.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here!
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah.
That's like you buy a AAA title, and you can play
Yeah.
it for half that amount of time and
I could
Yeah.
beat The
beat
Witcher
it
3 in that
completely.
time.
Yeah.
yeah,
like that's
I
It
mean,
was
lot.
kind of interesting because
Yeah.
recently, well, a while back, I had made. Let me get into it.
Oh, he's showing off. He's plugging.
was a-
Getting so many
Ooh,
Block
shows
him.
today. It's
Block
great.
him. He's
No, no,
showing
sell
off.
out.
He's gonna take out his crash
That's just a
avatar.
sign. Follow me.
No,
But
but
twitch.tv.
I had made this as a fan model for
I'm just gonna
one
be a
of
lawyer
I follow
instead.
on Tumblr.
Yeah,
Oh, it's
that's
cool.
cute. I love that
I
one.
like that model. I saw that model
like that
before.
one.
But yeah, I'd made this as a fan model for somebody who I follow on Tumblr, and they had wanted to actually wear it and try out VR chat. But then they found out there was that 24-hour barrier where they couldn't wear it for 24 hours. So it's like, try just like logging on in VR chat and leave it online for a little while, and then I'll upload it
That's
for
what I
you.
did. Yeah,
But
I had
yeah.
an account where I was a mute. I wanted to make a mute account for some terrible reason, and
Oh,
I
you're a
made,
terrible person. Get
and
out.
I
Yeah.
decided being mute was a terrible idea because it just
yeah,
didn't-
because
I-
you're
I'm
too
not
charming
mute.
as a person.
And yeah, exactly.
That's how I
Well,
started
also-
first too,
I-
Curio. Don't worry.
I started. Well, I was just a Pikachu, and I sat in a public presentation room while I played League of Legends.
One
That's
of
literally
those.
all I did. I just had it there, and then I ended up. Yeah, I can upload avatars
He's
on that
part of
account
the
now. So I
problem.
have a Smurf.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Smurf
solution.
account. Yeah, you gotta Smurf like
He's
I have my
smurfing.
gray Smurf. I have a gray Smurf.
aim for in for diamond in VRChat.
Known
like,
u-
rank 100.
known
so I can
users
direct
actually
freely with those
disguising as
greens.
new users.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So they could earn their trust.
But yeah, the whole
Yeah.
veteran thing was ridiculous.
It was a good idea that I already said it once, and I'll say it one more time because
Say
it
it.
was so stupid on their behalf. They basically took something. What are the first things that you see when you see a new person? You see their name, you see their avatar, and then you see their fucking rank. Get the fuck out of here. That's ridiculous. It's like having everybody wear a badge of how important they are. Like,
Yeah.
come on. Like,
That's exactly what I've
it should
been
have
The
been
saying on
newest
the
something
person
in the
goddamn
menu.
canny.
Yeah.
Hey,
The
Yeah,
newest
what
person is
I-
going to come in and they're going to feel immediately inferior.
Vortex,
Exactly.
I have a
Filthy purple
Patreon.
peasant. Get
I
out
have
of
a
here.
Patreon. Check
Filthy
out,
purple
support me
peasant.
on Patreon. Do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's I think it's ridiculous. Like, I do understand it, but anything that goes beyond like the basic this person can be trusted is really ridiculous. Like the veteran thing was
Yeah.
absolutely horrid.
I mean,
Like,
We're talking about veterans.
It was,
I'm gonna
I
get
mean,
them.
very
I
heavy-handed.
mean, it's not a bad
Are
thing
we
though,
veterans?
but like,
You got veterans?
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
me
like,
and
got
him are
veteran
veterans.
for
Like,
days, so.
Oh boy.
yeah,
no,
but like,
it's a
the main
bad
thing
thing.
is like,
It is a bad thing
no,
because
no,
you're
as a name tag.
segregating people.
Yeah. No, but like, if I could click on you like this, and then in the friend menu, I could see your rank. That's fine. But in the whole name tag thingy, that's like
Yeah,
it's
no,
in your
but
face.
that's what I say. They're doing segregation.
There
Yeah.
it is.
There he
There it
is.
of
That's my veteran
course.
model.
There he is.
Yeah,
He's
Yeah.
a
Now
veteran.
the meme is useless because there's no veterans anymore.
He's a
No,
veteran
everyone-
user.
Everyone is friends.
It's a trophy.
Yeah, we're all
No,
friends.
it's a
Hero.
trophy. No. This is a trophy. Like, so, like, this is like, hey, I was a veteran back when it existed for a beta.
it's a veteran for a week.
Yeah.
I'm old school.
No,
Old school
but
like the old school.
Yeah.
but like how an idea as ridiculous as that can get past like the quality control of the company that's working on
Well,
this game.
it
was no
baffles
quality
me.
control.
Welcome to VR chat. Some ill-thought out bullshit getting through and then getting redacted later on. Like, that's literally
Yeah,
what
And then
VR
everyone,
chat is.
and then everyone flaming
They
about
spend
it.
all their time backtracking. It's I mean, like,
Hold on.
at the very least, if you drop something like this into the meta, and then everybody starts bitching about it, then at least people will start coming back and like at least looking at your game.
Yeah.
At the very least, it did
Yeah.
something when it
Yeah.
comes to notoriety.
Just give me a
Yeah.
second.
Yeah.
Asadia, I think it
Questions?
is. If you click
have
on the
some
symbol below, there's streaming schedule and Discord. If you click on the title, you can get into my Discord, and that's where all the people are that I interview.
You
and
guys
I
should check
talk
out
with.
your
Yes.
canny, by the way.
What? The
Is it good?
canny?
Is it lit?
Which
Is it
one?
beautiful?
Which one? Which one?
It's the people. It's the canny that's full of people who were veteran, who are salty about the fact that they're not going to get to be veteran.
I'm gonna grab it. I'm gonna grab it right now. I'm gonna
I'm
read
no
a
longer
few.
veteran, but that's good because I don't need the
I'm gonna-
validation
I
of a
think-
gold
I'm gonna
Nah.
read a
nameplate.
few of those.
Nah.
Hold on,
All right, what
I'm
they
st-
needed.
just to
This
show
is
the
solution.
people.
This is my solution. Is
Yeah.
you could easily have had little symbols that say what
Yeah,
you
well-
are in your profile.
Yeah,
That would have been you
Yeah.
have a crown. This guy's a veteran. He's played for over 1,000 hours and he's released 3 worlds and has 5 million avatars, whatever. And then you could have a
Exactly.
little fucking little world. He released 3 worlds. He released X amount of avatars. This guy's a streamer. Something like that. Something
Okay.
completely low impact. Like
Let's,
it didn't have to be something that completely
Yeah.
splits the room.
there's
Like,
no
there's giant
need
name
to
Exactly.
be
tags.
so
Fucking
blatant.
It's
disgusting.
yeah, no, I agree. But let's
VS is racist.
let's take
Yeah.
let's take a
Exactly.
moment
Yeah.
to
Yes.
tell the
Completely
people.
off of the plan
Mhm.
for this podcast.
I don't care. We already
It's good.
touched on all the subjects though. But listen,
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying myself.
That's it, boy. We're freeballing
Yeah.
at this. We're
Yeah.
freeballing at this
Yeah.
thing, boys.
Okay. Anyway,
Oh, yeah, free
I've
balling,
got
dude.
I've
Fucking
got
free
the
balling
canny
till I woke
here.
up.
I've got
Yeah,
the
boy.
spicy ass canny. And I'm
Yes.
first I'm gonna give a little bit of insight to the people who are watching or not up to date. The beta was recently released, which gave people colored name tags based on their rank, and there's like no real reason why the rank was introduced. Like veteran, like, oh, these people are amazing, but it was basically like 1860 segregation. Anyway,
Yeah.
here's a Kenny post, and a
1860.
Kenny is basically
Yeah.
like
That's even more
That's
forum.
not
exciting.
America. That's 1960.
It's like a
Much more
forum,
recent in America.
where people post their suggestions or whine. A lot of people whine.
Yes. Recent good
and
whining.
we got this spicy new Kenny for people who want to bring back the veteran role. Okay, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna read it. Okay.
You're gonna need to explain it a bit because
Go ahead.
nobody else can see it.
I'll make it
I mean,
bigger.
we can guess.
I'll make it bigger. Hold on. I'll make it a little larger.
I've seen it. I've read through it thoroughly. I've replied a lot on that
That's good.
thread.
I'm gonna cover a
I'm
little
just
more
gonna
of
put
the
my
screen.
My legs up
People
on my
won't
bed.
be able to see that. I'm just gonna read it.
Mm.
Oh, you look
Okay,
terrible, Qyr.
so we
Holy
got
shit, you
this.
look terrible.
We got
I'll do
this.
this then.
VR chat, bring back veteran. That's the name of the canny.
This better.
That's me. That's me. 2 tours in
Don't
Uganda.
tease us and then take it away. First of all, I get it. It
Don't
was a
tease
test,
us.
a beta version, and most of the people will not agree with me, but it's a free cyber social
Okay,
world, and we are all allowed to speak our minds. I am a big fan of VR chat and create lots of content for it. And I am a bit disappointed that Veteran is being taken away. Don't get me wrong, I get why people did not like it and I respect their opinions, but I also think that I speak for many others when it comes to the removal of the veteran rank. Long story short, because I really don't want to make an entire story, bring it back. Simply bring it back. I absolutely love the idea of it, not
Bring
because
back
there will
Simply?
be... Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, let's...
Yeah,
Simply,
bring
if you're
that's in
listening,
it.
people want you
I
back.
mean,
Anyway,
I miss you, buddy.
I absolutely love the idea of it. Not because there will be different groups of ranks, but to be actually rewarded for the stuff you do in VR chat, which I think is really stupid. I put hours, days,
Yeah.
months into content, and I and many others make for VR chat, so I'd appreciate it if all that hard work can be rewarded, and if so, by bringing back the veteran rank. Disclaimer, our friend Lakuza was nowhere near veteran. And
He's a good boy. He makes a lot of stuff.
he probably has the most complex VR chat world in existence.
Oh, he's got a hell of a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he has the working boss fight. That's that guy.
Mm.
Anyway, we
Sitting in
wanted
that
to
is
laugh
great.
at people in the comments, right? I'll scroll through them. Let's
Yes.
bully them. Let's
I just
bully
want
them.
to point out that the quote, it's a free cyber social world, sounds like something that'd be on the box of Cyberpunk 2077.
In the free world.
That's what I'm expecting.
Yeah.
It's a
Anyway,
free cyber social world. IGN, 4 stars.
I'm gonna read some comments.
yeah.
You didn't go
One-
down to the bottom. That's why I was
Okay.
working.
Here's Carnage Junkie. One word, veteran. Bring it back for real. Carnage Junkie is very,
For
very,
real.
very
Dude, he's
into
serious.
this.
He's serious
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
He likes it.
yeah.
But
People
that's so
moved
stupid.
up.
No,
We're all
like,
getting
Yeah,
closer.
man.
oh, yeah,
Nah,
we're getting
it-
tighter. I
I
thought the
think
couches
it's a
were a
lonely-
little bit too spread out anyways. I felt
Yeah.
cold over here.
I want
Oh,
to
here
be
we-
comfy
I'm
between
Okay,
you.
here's Mr.
Yeah.
Dude 64. He says narcissism already runs rampant in VR chat. Why do we need something like
Oh,
ranks to
yeah.
inflate people's egos? I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
At the end
well,
of the
I mean,
day,
it's
we're
hard-
all
it's
we're
hard not
all
to be
just
when you're a waifu.
people. We're all just people. We're not none better than anyone else because we earn more or because more people watch us in the mirror. We're all just people.
Yeah, but a lot of people.
I'll have you
a
know-
lot of people
I'll have you know
got a
I'm a
taste of being
streamer.
special.
Oh
Yeah.
dear.
I'm so-
I am
I'm
a Twitch
special.
streamer.
Oh,
I don't appreciate that dialogue. I need at least 2 more honorifics per sentence, please.
Okay,
Thank
you. Minimum,
Sir
minimum,
Emperor
Yes,
Curio San-sama.
Yeah, there you go.
There we
Yeah,
go.
Fucking bitch boy.
Okay, I got more. Because where's his cronies? Those are the best. Oh, there's really big ones
This one.
here. You got a
Just wanna
good one.
reiterate, everybody has an opinion. That's great. We love your opinions. Keep them coming in.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
keep them coming in. our call.
There should be a phone number on the
Yeah.
bottom of your screen. If you just call that,
If you call
we'll
that-
get you in. We'll talk to us.
Yeah, our
that'd be amazing.
receptionists
That'll
will.
be
The
amazing.
complaint
That'll
line.
legit be amazing.
If there was a complaint line for VR chat, that thing would never have a chance.
it would be full.
That would be the busiest
Oh my
their
God.
depths have ever
So-
been.
Yeah.
One of my friends said, "Oh my God, is that a streamer?
Oh my
Oh
goodness.
Oh my God,
Twitch?
Yep.
it's
Oh my
a
god,
streamer,
GV,
guys.
world famous streamer.
It's
GV, the
world,
world famous.
it's world famous streamer G1 fan veteran user here.
Yeah.
Wave
Yeah,
to
right,
the
2 tours
camera.
Uganda.
Wave to the camera. Yeah, hi,
Nice to meet you.
mom.
Nice to meet you.
Okay, anyway,
Hi,
Hey,
mom.
I'm
Video.
back.
okay.
back from 2 tours.
Someone, I got to your comment, and I'm gonna take it from there
Which one?
because
There's
that's
a lot in there.
That's pretty good. G1 says, veteran is better off dead. I was veteran, and it was nice to feel somewhat acknowledged, but the veteran rank was functionally useless. Also, this upcoming trust system itself has issues with elitism, and the veteran rank did not help. I suggest people make content because they like content, and not so they can get a shiny golden nameplate. And then,
What a
then this
loser.
this spicy boy.
I hate you, one fan.
Here
Yeah.
comes the spicy man of the evening. Terror
Yeah.
Queen. I
Oh,
disagree
good name. Good name.
big
Excellent
time.
shit.
Big time. They disagree
shuddered
big
when I read
time.
that.
And then
I shuddered when I read that. That's a powerful man, such woman.
read this part. The veteran trust rank has been removed. Trust ranks are about how much VRChat trusts a particular user and not about achievements. Disclaimer, most crashes are veteran users.
Are you a crasher? Oh my goodness.
Oh my god, are you talking about those particles? Are
And
those
not
thanks
about-
That's my
particles?
crash gun.
And
That's my
not
crash gun.
about
Ah!
That's too
achievements,
close.
levels, or experience points. This rank shared settings with trusted users in all default shield
Thank you.
levels.
Ooh.
And at trusted levels, you were already trusted. Veteran has intended to show users who have
Mhm.
contributed greatly to VRChat and to give them something to show off. However, the implementation wasn't perfect and a bit out of scope considering the purpose of the trust and safety system. So we're pulling it back. Where? Terror Queen's uncle owns VRChat.
Oh my god.
Oh my god!
Thank you.
My dad owns VR chat.
My dear, it's
Smile.
Yeah, I just-
VR chat smile.
My uncle is Reggie from Nintendo. I'm gonna ban you from VR chat.
And I like this.
Yeah.
Basket94 says, guys, just ignore those who don't agree. Responding back won't help. Just keep up your spirits and vote.
And just,
Yeah.
just
Don't
yell
forget
at
he
them,
put like a
smile.
little
Yeah,
heart
just
or
yell
something
at them.
the end. I remembered that.
Just yell at them. Just yell at
I
them.
can yell at them.
Hey, I want veteran
Yeah,
back.
oh,
It's
No, no veteran, please.
stop doing that, or I'm gonna
Veteran,
kick you.
That was a great
Oh,
rank.
Veteran was a
Oh.
great rank well lasted. Oh, nice. Oh, he's gone. He's gone. I
It's,
crashed
that's
him like
it.
crash gun.
That's it. I crashed him.
He'll come
Yeah, no,
back.
veteran was. I think honestly, the
Yeah.
idea, the idea behind the ranking system, it wasn't terrible. I mean, the veteran. I think basically what they kind of were trying to put out there was you had your like your obvious ranks. You know, I guess it's what goes gray, green, blue, orange, purple.
And
then
then
gold.
Yeah, yellow veteran.
And yeah, but I think that what they were originally intending was for purple users to be like at the top of the hierarchy, right? Like these
Yeah.
people are, you can trust purples. Like purples are the people that have been playing the game a lot, and if they're
Yeah, but
if they're
that
bad apples,
doesn't-
then you know
That
they can
doesn't
still
mean.
they know how to fuck you up if they think. But with
Yeah.
gold,
Yeah.
with gold users, it's supposed to be like the crown. Like these
Really good
people,
boys, yeah.
these people are out there. You know, it was meant to be
Yeah.
like a separate thing.
Yeah.
You know, but
I mean, that's what.
it just didn't come
Yeah.
across
Hold
that
on,
way at
hold on.
all,
I gotta-
especially since it was
I
new.
got a
newfangled.
few questions from chat, so I'm gonna go through those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
I got
Yeah.
who do you guys think are the most problematic VR chat users? And legends with where can I find the page? On the Canny legends, just Google VR chat Canny. Anyway, I think the most problematic VR chat users are people who are
Another
spending
backflip
their
here.
entire day working out programs like VR Cheat. People who are just
Do another backflip here.
spending all of their free time to ruin the game for other people. That's the worst kind of user.
Yeah, I think
Model
that's
stealers,
an issue.
crashes.
Yeah, no, it's not. You can't like what type of user or like what type of person is the worst kind of person? You might as well just ask that question. It's the shitty people. It's the assholes.
Yeah.
Those are the
Yeah.
people that are the worst.
I'm-
It's the
I-
People who go
just,
out of their
you know,
way to ruin other people's fun.
I call them piss
Yeah, exactly.
children.
It's the ones who have fun by ruining
Yeah.
fun. That's their thing.
Yeah, piss
so
children.
That's your problem.
Like
There's your problem.
Like
And
in the
no,
old
you-
days when you
like-
were playing the first Call of Duty and you had this nice spicy hacker show up and fuck everyone up. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the real fun.
That was
People.
that's
great.
really fun. Yeah,
World
they're
at
real
War
fun.
never was the same again.
No,
Call
Yeah,
of Duty
no.
Or never
it
change.
Too much.
was a good game.
war never
Oh,
changes.
yeah, they like the word piss children. Yeah, we made it trending. They quoted me. Yes.
You did. You got one person to hashtag it.
Yeah,
I got one-
hashtag
one
hashtag
person.
piss
You did
children.
it. You changed someone's life.
I
the
changed
better.
someone's life. Well, ARNDG2, I love you too.
Sounds like a chemical.
Yeah,
Ooh.
that sounds
Hmm.
spicy.
Yeah, what other
Okay.
questions we got?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. That's it.
Wow, we
was
got
it?
one whole. You said questions.
Yeah,
Oh,
Legends.
questions.
Legends had a
That was one
question, but I
question.
already
Give more
answered
questions.
that.
What is it, Gleb?
Okay.
You know,
okay,
I'll
okay.
just dump a link to the shit show of the Canny in the chat, so feel free to check it out, guys.
Yeah.
Mhm, mhm.
Feel free to reply to my replies if you want. I try to be civil in the Kenny.
Yeah,
Because
and you're just
it's the
getting
only
shat
place-
on by Terror
It's a nice
Queen.
idea.
Get served.
The Kenny
It's a
is the
neat
only
idea.
place that VR chat will allow me to go anymore to talk to people.
Yeah, just squeeze in here. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
nice.
I'm not
I like this.
I'm not exactly welcome in the VR chat Discord anymore. Let's
No,
just put it like
we're
that.
both banned because we offered
Mm,
genuine feedback and not just from toe suckers. But it
I was a-
wasn't
I
appreciated.
could have been a bit less of a. I
Dick.
could have been a bit.
Yeah,
less,
me too.
We'll
but,
have the sick face emoji.
but G1.
No, but that was a
You
that was
won.
an unrelated
Okay,
issue.
that was a different one. Oh no.
The
well.
what's it called? My patience
She's
had
injured,
run
probably.
out. My patient had been
Okay.
my patience had run out. I was a bit done at that point, honestly.
Yeah.
VR
I
chat's
don't-
gonna probably. I think it's doomed to being just another game's gonna come out that's gonna replace VR chat. I think that at
I
this point
completely
it's just
agree.
gonna have to be that way.
Yeah,
If there's
Mr.
going to be longevity in this type of game, a social sandbox,
It's not gonna be
like
this game.
creation game, it's not going to be VR chat. Yeah, it's going to be something else.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I mean,
but that's like
we can
a
hope.
lot of my friends. They are like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna quit," and I'm like, "Yeah, but there's no alternative." So that's the only reason I stick around here. There's no proper
Yeah.
alternative.
If there was a better alternative to VR chat,
Yeah, it's just lack of
they
better.
allowed me to do everything I wanted to do. I'd probably be
It's
fine.
just lack of a better
I mean, yeah.
alternative.
I mean, I do play the best game, Blender and Unity. They're also pretty good games,
Yeah,
I've
Blender.
heard.
They're
That's all I
supported
need.
by
But
Discord.
that's it.
Yep.
Did I hear in
Yeah, of
Unity
course,
you
of
can
course.
use
still have
any
our own
script.
games.
You can use any script.
Yeah,
you
that's
can write
pretty
your own
nice.
script.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
people
very
I
nice.
should give that game a shot.
and people have
Mm-hmm.
been trying to drag us to high fidelity, but that doesn't look too spicy to me right now.
I haven't really looked into High Fidelity. Only played Neos.
What kind of
And
name is
Neos.
that, man? I need a more social name. High Fidelity sounds like I'm
Doom
flying spaceships.
Eternal.
Yeah.
It's a good point,
Yeah.
actually. It's a
Yeah.
good
I,
point.
I need like I need
Fidelity.
VR chat. That
Yeah,
kind of
Yeah.
VR
thing.
chat lets you know what's
It's a
up.
great, it's a
High
spicy
Fidelity.
name.
Nah,
yeah,
nah.
exactly. There's
Oh,
nothing.
nah.
There's no questions there.
No.
What do you
Curio,
do in
I
VR
want.
chat? Well,
I want-
ERP is
yeah.
anime waifus. That's
No,
what you do
nah,
in VR chat.
nah.
That's
I
it.
want
That's the whole
waifu.
game.
I want VR waifu
That's the
ERP,
game.
the game. That's what I want.
VR waifu
You're in it,
ERP,
buddy.
dude. I'm
You're in
telling
it.
you, that game would pop
Yeah,
up.
yeah. But I want
Like,
the
it would
name
pop
changed
up.
so it's
Yeah.
actually accurate.
But you
That's
I
all.
need a game that
That's already what this game is devolving into, though.
Yeah, of course.
Mhm.
Like,
That
usually
is-
it's
no,
like
it's
thick anime
seriously. I
girls.
mean, yeah, thick anime girls. The game.
Yeah, like with bells and shit. Like,
Here's
I'd make an account.
Doggy says the problem with these kind of games are that they focus on being a VR game instead of focusing on being a good game. Yeah, I
Mhm.
guess.
well, yeah.
But like I
guess.
said,
don't
this
think that. I'm wondering.
this game
And
was,
yes.
even though the performance is garbage and the Unity is outdated, we were able to do a lot of things that we dreamed of. But it all got kneecapped, all got shot in the foot because pus tumors like Meep are
Yeah.
hell bent on destroying the game.
Yeah. I mean, people are staying like in here for the people, not for the game.
No, absolutely.
And once
Yeah,
the people leave,
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
G1 here, he used to have like 6
me.
avatars a week, and now maybe once 2 weeks he makes a new thing. It's just
I'm running out of ideas, man.
yeah, no, but you're not motivated either,
Yeah.
man.
I have infinite ideas. It's always more mods I can make into kanas.
Yeah, but that's
Semi-mod and make it a kana.
How many
I'm
kanas do you have, dude?
that's
I have,
different.
in my world 100, on my account
Oh my god.
220.
100 kanas? That's a lot of kanas.
In my
Too
world.
many.
Yeah.
Well, he
I mean, I can make
introduced himself as somebody who makes kanas. I mean, that's
That's
Yeah, but
true.
that's-
That's a good point.
that's literally
That's
that's what he
his
does.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's fun.
Yeah. I
you
make
keep doing
like-
that, but you will find.
Yeah.
I'm gonna quote a lyric here.
You
In
made
a
a
little
kana?
while, I'll be out of style, out
Soon.
of grace
Working on
and
it.
reality,
Mashed two
and
kanas.
you're gonna be out
Yeah.
of style in some time.
Well, the main thing is I
Okay.
also make
Well, look at
like
him.
2 commissions a week, which are not kanas. the kanas I make are above the commissions
this-
I do.
This
It
guy,
doesn't seem like out of style really matters too much, does it?
this
Yeah.
guy is timeless.
Not hard to read,
Yeah.
Marcus.
It can be a beautiful kana if you want to. Let me be a more beautiful kana instead, so everyone can be happy.
Oh, yes.
I just read it.
Of
Oh my
course.
I used to play for the
Oh, yeah.
memes, but now I play because I
Yeah.
have no friends anywhere else. Yeah, relatable.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a friend singularity, dude. You replace your real life friends with your VR chat friends, and now you're stuck. They got you.
Yeah.
They got
You're
that clause
stuck.
into you. You're not
Oh.
leaving.
That's
Unless
usually
you wanna use Discord,
that's
which
usually
also
what people
works.
do in a relationship.
I
Yeah.
guess.
Suck your friends away and then leave you
Suck
with
your friends
nothing.
off.
That's what VR chat's doing. Suck your friends off.
Suck your friends off.
Suck your
Yeah.
friends off your hands.
Yeah.
This stream started so sensible.
Wholesome.
Honestly,
No,
I
not with me.
real
You got me. You got problems.
real thing
You got
though.
to
Are
the
you
end
are
of
you guys
Polar's,
having fun?
Section and it just evolved.
Yeah, of course.
course.
I mean, like, this is what we do every day anyway. We sit in this scream at each other about models. That's what we do
Yep.
during game.
Yeah,
I'm up for that, man.
but
I'm up for that.
I never quite done something like this. We've always had a
Yeah.
subject and something that there's always very little time to complain, but it's very liberating.
Yeah.
It's very
Oh, yeah.
liberating to just complain with other people. But yeah,
of
Polar,
course.
Polar, I wanna thank you for your segment because that was incredibly interesting and it was great to finally have you here after your terrible internet connection issues.
Oh, it's still
Yeah.
terrible.
Yeah, but at least you're here now. You can
At
load
least I
into
figured
worlds.
out.
Mhm.
At least
Yeah.
I figured out why it's terrible. Yeah.
Yeah, and Kier, true
Yes?
recommendation. You made it in here, and I'm very glad that we
Yes?
met because you're incredibly fun. Same goes for
Thank
you,
you.
Curio. It's been incredibly nice having you on the podcast, and I'm enjoying myself incredibly. Do you guys have
Really?
something you wanna talk about? We got a little
We'll talk
time
about
left.
optimization.
Yeah,
And
optimization.
for
Let's
once.
talk.
But
Let's-
people
yes,
already
talk about
know.
optimization.
But go,
Yeah.
you know,
Nah, let
let's,
him speak his piece.
let's do.
Okay.
He's dedicated.
Do
Let's
it.
talk about
Dedicated.
optimization.
Okay, before you do it,
that was a joke,
let me
but I can talk
let me-
about optimization
Yeah,
all
I
day.
say I'm the bad one. I'm the one who has above 10 materials, almost my models. He can, but I'm the bad one. I'll
that
say
is
it.
not. That is the argument. That is literally what I want to talk about. Is the fact that
Yeah.
you're not the problem. The problem is the game
Really?
sucks, and that the people who
Not
don't
on
do any
this one.
optimization at all have 50 materials. That's the problem.
Yep.
The
Yeah.
problem isn't the people who are semi optimized. If your model has 5 times more materials than somebody who did a bad job optimizing their avatar, then that means you did a terrible job optimizing your avatar. You're
Yeah.
the most at fault. Like you just you have 50 materials. Like, of course someone's
Yeah.
gonna lag. You could have 5 avatars crammed into your own. Like,
Yeah,
get the fuck out
I'm
of
the
here.
most optimized though.
I usually I'm
Yeah.
not
2D baby.
I'm not that much into optimization because
That's
but-
good.
but
You don't
I-
need to be into
You say that.
optimization.
No,
you just
but-
need to do a
no,
small,
but listen,
very, very small margin of optimization, and you're
So
better than
I
everybody else.
I really do
Yeah, it's
try
like-
to stick under the 10 materials.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's all you need to do.
And one
It's
mesh.
it's the people who don't do it at all.
Yeah,
It's
no.
just the fact
It's
with,
so frustrating.
with tools like cats and with tools like I can't remember who made it, but there's that new
Material
tool that came
combiner.
out.
Yeah.
Material
Yeah,
combiners
yeah,
that I
material
use.
combiner.
Yeah.
It's stuff like that. It's so easy.
Yeah.
It's literally just a couple button clicks, and you can make your models so much more optimized. Especially when you use MMD models, because some of those models can have an
Yeah.
insane amount of
Dude,
materials, like an
some of
irrational
those
number of
MMD, right?
materials.
People
Dude.
will have a ribbon, and one part of the ribbon will have one material, and the other part of the ribbon will have
Yeah.
another material, and they'll both have the same texture.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
complete
Yeah.
nonsense. It doesn't
It's
make any
crazy,
sense at
dude.
all.
Yeah. No, but if you look at Polax, this and MMD, each different color on the body would be different material.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
how MMD most would have been done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of
Instead of using
optimizing it.
16 by 16 text,
Yeah.
one,
But
Yeah.
you gotta keep in mind MMD models are not designed to be optimized.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're not.
No,
They're not. They're
no,
totally
they're
not.
They're- they're
run
designed
in
to
an
look
environment that
pretty.
does not have to worry about optimization.
Yeah,
They're run in a single environment where there are 3 of them dancing to a song
yeah.
in a
Yeah.
very drab background. They don't need to move. They don't need to run VR. They don't need to run shit. Doesn't matter how
Yeah.
optimized they are because
It's just
it's completely irrelevant.
It will
But in VR chat, when you
hardly
put 70 of
affect
them in a
the
room.
render. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when you get
Exactly.
70 unoptimized Mikus, you're gonna have a bad time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
You know you're
VR
gonna
chat,
have
remember
a
the
really
text
bad
support
time.
too.
Context
Ooh.
model.
VR
VR
chat.
chat sucks as
You want to have a
well.
bore
Yeah,
experience?
VR chat sucks as well, so
Mhm.
that's also a problem. It's just like people are going at each other's necks because obviously it's the game that we have, it's the world we live in that we need to interact with. But like, come on, like we're bitching at each other because VR chat is bad. That's
Yeah.
what we're
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah.
Like,
Mhm.
let me just be an anime waifu, IRL. That's the solution.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
I could just
That's
do
the
that,
dream, man. That's the dream.
the easy clap.
I feel you, but that's, it's not
Yeah.
quite there. The technology.
Not yet.
Real life is just not there yet.
Yes,
You know what you need?
soon.
Catch
Expensive.
up
Expensive.
reality.
Oculus, you guys
Catch
seen the
up.
Oculus Quest that they showed off at the
Yeah.
keynote recently?
Oh yeah.
You don't need to take
that.
it off. It tracks everywhere. You can take it outside.
Yeah.
You can
And
live
the-
in
and
that
the-
thing.
Amazing.
Holy shit, I could
And-
be
and-
in VR chat in real
No,
life.
you can't. It's only Oculus. No Steam. No PC.
There was a
Stupid ass.
post there was a
really? That
post-
feels so bad.
because
Yeah.
I'm one of the 10 users of the VR chat subreddit, right? And
Yeah.
there was
God,
a post
yeah,
on
I
the
saw
subreddit.
that.
Some guy was begging the devs to port the whole game onto Oculus Quest.
Yeah.
It's like you're gonna
It's
port
not.
the
It's
whole
not gonna run
the whole of
there.
this
Like,
game
hey,
until
play
like,
VR
a
chat on the
I mean,
phone.
honestly,
yeah, on the phone.
It
yeah,
might
easy
be a
clap.
good thing because a very big
25
restrictor for VR
FPS.
chat is the fact
Smile.
that a lot of people don't have computers that are even good enough to run VR chat with VR.
Right.
Yeah,
Because
that's the point.
you have the misconception in desktop. You're like, oh yeah, desktop mode. This game's so simple. Like, there's nothing in this game that's crazy. My computer can run Monster Hunter, and then you try to play VR chat on VR, and,
And it's like-
your computer catches on fire.
Like
Yeah.
a single mirrors on. Ah, my friend.
Yeah, your computer
People-
does that.
people-
This is bullshit.
and-
It's literally insane.
and- and
then
the-
there's the people in the VR chat community who insist on buying top of the line computers so that they can stream VR chat, and
Yeah.
it just feels so bad.
That's me.
Because this game it's just like like yeah.
But
it's
a lot of
bad.
Yeah, it's
like
that's the one
there
word.
will be a lot more
Yeah.
leeway once we get more cores. The cores are
Yeah.
pretty like single core.
Yeah. I have 12 cores. Please, can I use them?
I think I have.
I've only got 4.
Yeah. No, 8. Yeah. I have
Okay,
the 8,
a friend of
7K.
mine, a friend of mine, Faye, she asks, "Have any of you played Second Life?" I did it once,
No.
but I was like
No.
12, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?"
Let me.
Yeah. This is my
Yeah.
first like social game. You know
Well,
what
I did
Where
play a lot of
social,
I
being
am
social is the goal.
I did play a lot of IMVU when I was small because that was like the next
yeah.
step to Habbo Hotel. You get
Your
IMVU.
gigantic flat fucking wall. Get out of my way.
Should I stand
I
here? You
cannot-
say?
Jesus Christ.
I'll fix it. 1 second.
But yeah,
I envy you.
yeah, I am VU. That was quite something.
Dude, I am VR, dude. That should be that's what we got. We could do
Oh.
that one. I am
Mhm.
VR, next VR chat game. Right
Oh,
there.
Faye,
I am
Faye,
VR. Somebody write
Faye,
that
And
down.
it's funny because it's like instant messenger VR.
Hey, Faye,
But it's
Faye
I
is
am
being a really
VR.
nice person here. I think you had to be a fiend to play Second Life. Do you think anyone
Yeah.
enters their real age when they're 12? That's very,
No. Yeah,
I'm
very
sure it'd be,
naive.
Dude, I would stay away from Second Life. Second Life seems like it's pretty
monk
monk-ass.
ass.
It seems like it's pretty
I've not seen a lot of good
dangerous
stuff
a
from Second
dangerous
Life,
terrain.
yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm I'm
Mhm,
I'm
mhm,
I'm not
mhm.
gonna insult anyone, but
Mhm.
it's first it has a currency system which I don't like. I don't like
I'm
the
against that in VR chat. I've talked to that people a lot about that.
yeah currency, and second, it seems
Disgusting.
it seems
Look
like
above
its main player base at this time of day is pretty depraved.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, well, I mean, VR chat's quickly turning that corner itself. I
Yeah.
find
Yeah.
it seems like the
Yeah,
people
I
who
don't
are
I
still
don't like
interested in this
that
game,
though.
like
I don't
they
like that.
lose a lot.
I've lost friends to that. Like people, I never talk to them anymore because they're in private
Just
instances
ERPing
all day,
man.
fucking, and I hate it. Where's the time
That's
that you
next
just
level.
ran into my
next level.
instance and had a good talk with me? I hadn't have a good talk with that person for like months. It's insane.
Yeah.
There's nothing quite like going into
Yeah.
a world that has ERP going on. There's nothing quite like one
Yeah.
of those. It's just like you're just like
Especially when they're
How
doing it
is-
in the
what
middle
is
of the
happening?
goddamn
Wait,
pug.
And
Yeah.
I already get awkward when I join into a room and there's like 3 people patting someone who's snoring. I'm like, what the fuck?
I mean,
it's
I mean,
cute.
I'm not saying
It's-
that
it's-
is
it's
every
sleeping.
evening for us, but I mean, hey. Yeah. I'm kidding.
Pat,
Well,
Are you patting me right
Regardless of
Oh, yeah.
age or
No.
not, I'm still gonna keep making
Yeah.
models regardless.
Yeah, absolutely,
yeah,
but you
exactly.
should.
Yeah.
Like, even if you can't use them in VR chat or something, your shit is art, man. You shouldn't let
Thank
Yeah,
yourself.
I love your models, PolarStar.
Dude,
They're
I
You,
play
pretty-
a
you,
fair
you
game.
shouldn't
I play
like
a game
even
like
if this
that.
game were to die, if you would just kick this onto DeviantArt or something, lovely.
My current marathon is to make all of the Toho characters.
Oh,
Every
that's
single
another
one of
two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We know a lot of two. We know
Yeah,
a lot
we
of twos.
know a lot
Yeah.
of twos.
Oh yeah.
Jeez.
That's why it is
Are you
that I want to
still
make
doing
all of them.
Yeah, we know.
Excellent.
Because everybody's got their favorites.
Yeah. I only know Sakia and Pachi something.
Patchouli.
Patchouli.
Patchouli, that one.
That's Wakamu. You
know
mean? You mean Wakamu?
Yeah, Wakamu
Okay,
and
the
Rock.
person who asked about Second Life says, "Thanks for making me feel old. I was 18 when I started playing Second Life. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Who was that? Was that Faye?
Yeah, Faye.
Sorry.
Faye says, and that was almost 12 years ago.
Well, I'm sorry,
goodness.
Faye, but I think
Oh,
you're
dude, time, dude.
compared
Time's
to
wacky.
us, you might be quite old.
Oh,
Not me.
Yeah.
He's only
I think
5
I
years
know.
older than me.
Yeah.
I'm not that.
Me too.
Faye,
Yeah.
you live your life.
Yeah, but I love
Play
Faye.
Second Life.
Yeah, you
I
live
love
your life.
Faye.
You
Well,
wouldn't
you
be.
shouldn't-
You wouldn't be.
you shouldn't
wouldn't be
lie to
whatever
yourself.
people are in Second Life. Do it.
Exactly. We're
Mm,
positive.
yeah.
Do it. Be
Positive experiences.
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
I'm not trying to. I'm not worried about. I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about any of it.
But anyway, there is a little. No, I'll save that for after the stream. I'm gonna end the stream here because we've been going for 2 hours, and that's usually when I cut off.
That's true.
So thank you guys for being here.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was real
of you.
fun, and thanks everyone from Curio and Qyr and Polar
Yes.
who joined just to watch us fuck about. This is really great, really great stuff, you guys.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching, and I won't be in next week because I someone invited me to stay over at their place, and I haven't seen them in a while, so that's good.
Ooh.
Sleepover.
No,
Kinda
no,
doing
it's
some.
it's
We're all
nerds.
invited.
It's Warhammer
LAN
40k
party?
nerds.
That's haven't you played
Okay,
VR chat
D&D?
before?
D&D?
We're all
Hello.
nerds here.
Yeah, I
I mean,
guess.
you have D&D in
Smile.
Yeah, dude,
1
you
hour
did
or
D&D
so,
on
right?
LAN party, dude.
Yeah, actually.
Oh,
I
y'all are
did
playing D&D?
4
Oh, I
hours.
like this one.
I played D&D yesterday on stream, and he's gonna play in 1 hour.
Faye
on
says.
stream.
Yeah,
Faye
and
says.
then I'm
Sweet,
playing
I
again
love-
tomorrow.
Faye
D&D,
says,
man.
I'm almost 30, but people at the door still ask for my parents. That's a good one. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for being here. And
Yes.
just join the Discord. You can join the Discord by clicking on the creators icon under the video. I'll be posting updates and announcements in there if you're interested in following what I'm doing here. And yeah,
If you got any
Just-
VR chat questions or anything like that, there's lots of people in there who can.
yeah,
help you
there's a
out
lot
with
of people in there who know their shit, and they can help you get started, or just get into the game,
Or continue.
help you out. Yeah, or come
that. Or
back.
finish.
Yeah, finish what you started. Anyway,
Wow.
thanks a ton for watching,
Thank you.
everyone. I had a great time. See you guys the next time. Yeah.
Should we do like
Hmm?
where can people find people if they want to find people?
Where can people find people? All right, I always forget
Like-
about the plugs.
Hey.
Polar, if
Plug
people want
anything.
to track your stuff, where can they find you?
Mostly just on either Discord or Tumblr is where I post some stuff, but I'm more active on Discord.
Well, you can find
Fair
him
enough.
on
Yeah.
Discord. Just go on Discord and find him. Just do it.
Yeah, it's
Do
do
it.
forehead.
Oh yeah, you can
It's a clever,
also
just
follow.
do it.
You can also follow me. Thanks, Kat, for reminding. I keep forgetting about all this basic Twitch stuff because I'm
Yeah, you
really
can,
not
you can follow
invested.
Cat.
Just follow Kat. No.
Stalk cat.
Okay, Curio, where can people find you?
Oh yeah, all right. Twitch.tv/Curio. I do things. I stream 6 days a week. All right, 6 days a week. I have a Discord.
Damn.
My Discord definitely doesn't have pictures of wholesome anime girls.
Mhm.
100% of the time. More
Wholesome.
of them than you could
Very
possibly
Wholesome.
possibly
Just-
look through. No, there's less
Just
wholesome ones
forget
than there are
about
wholesome ones.
Curio. Don't even
No.
get started.
I'm
Okay,
not a degenerate.
Curio,
Nothing I do is
Curio,
degenerate.
where can
Yes.
people
Also,
find
Yes.
you?
You can find me on Qyr VR on Twitch and Qyr and everything else.
Yeah.
Also, you can find me if you search Kana in
Oh.
VR chat. You find my world.
Just Google Kana. You'll find Kier.
Yeah, yeah.
Actually, I don't know. Is that true? Probably kind of VR chat.
No,
probably
yeah. If you
find
Google
No.
Kana VR chat, you see my avatar. Yes, you do.
I'd probably find them.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
Um,
you do.
Acedia is telling me, you should tell Curio and Polar that I love them. Lol. The lol's very
Aw.
important.
Yeah. And
Not
then they hate
Qyr.
me.
Hi,
Oh my
Acedia.
goodness.
No,
That's
no.
Oh
harsh.
my goodness.
Acedia.
Acedia,
That's
should have been
harsh.
here. Yeah.
I don't
Acedia
even know
does good
this
stuff too, but
person,
Acedia
but
is
they've
mute,
been
so I don't
very
know how that would work.
kind.
G1 transform into the user guy.
Yeah. So
Andrew
yeah.
talks.
Oh, what the fuck? Oh, what?
I transformed into the user guy. It's like, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see. Oh, yeah, but your head's out of
You're
frame.
flying.
Anyway,
You're
Yeah, I'm
floating and your
flying.
fucking eyes are
anyway,
popping out of your
good
head.
night. Good night, and thanks for
Good
watching.
night.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
Good.
Goodbye, everybody.
Yeah.
Goodbye, chat.
Yes. Goodbye.
Goodbye,
Bless you.
chat.